My beloved child, stop for a moment. This hour matters, and you were brought here because something is about to shift in your life. I am speaking to you now with urgency, because what unfolds in the next moments will not wait for distraction or delay. Do not scroll, do not multitask, do not treat this lightly. Listen with your whole heart. Stay until the very end, because every word carries weight, and each moment builds toward what you have been praying for without knowing how to name it. This is not information, it is alignment. Not comfort alone, but direction. If you stay, you will recognize the hour you are standing in. If you listen, you will understand why the waiting was necessary. And if you remain, you will know, beyond doubt, that this hour was written for you. My child, before this hour finishes unfolding, I need you to understand something with clarity and tenderness. This is not an ordinary stretch of time passing you by unnoticed. This hour has been weighed, measured, and allowed by my hand. I am not speaking to frighten you, nor to rush you, but to awaken your awareness to what is already in motion. There are moments in life when heaven leans closer, when eternity brushes against the present, and when unseen decisions finalize themselves quietly. It is one of those moments. You may feel a subtle tension in your chest, a stillness that feels heavier than silence, or a gentle alertness you cannot explain. That is not coincidence. That is your spirit responding to alignment. I have watched you walk through seasons where nothing seemed to change, where prayers echoed back unanswered, where waiting stretched your patience thin. But hear me now with certainty. Waiting does not mean stagnation, and silence does not mean neglect. This hour stands as a threshold, and thresholds always carry weight because they separate what was from what is about to be. I am asking you not to rush past this moment mentally, not to distract yourself emotionally, not to dismiss what your spirit already senses. Something has reached its appointed time. Something you could not force, could not speed up, and could not understand fully has now come to the edge of manifestation. This warning is holy not because danger is approaching, but because movement is. And movement requires awareness, readiness, and trust. I do not announce every work I do in thunder. Some of my greatest shifts arrive like a whisper, unnoticed by those who are busy, but unmistakable to those who are attentive. So I am calling your attention gently, firmly, lovingly. Stay present. Stay open. Do not treat this hour casually, because it carries answers you have long asked for, even if they do not arrive in the form you imagine. And my child, I want you to know this warning is not born from impatience but from care. I am not saying, hurry, I am saying, notice. Too many times you have doubted yourself because nothing seemed to happen when you obeyed, trusted, or endured. Too many times you wondered if your faith mattered at all. But faith does not always produce immediate visible results. Sometimes it produces permission. Permission for me to move when the timing is safe, when the foundation is strong, and when your heart will not be crushed by the weight of what you once desired. This hour exists because you survived what would have destroyed an earlier version of you. It exists because you did not quit when discouragement whispered lies into your thoughts. It exists because you learned to keep breathing, praying, and hoping even when you felt tired of hoping. I am not here to overwhelm you with expectation. I am here to steady you so you do not miss the significance of what is happening quietly beneath the surface. Let your heart be still enough to recognize that this is not a threat, but an invitation. An invitation to trust that I have not forgotten you, that I have not miscalculated your timing, and that I have not overlooked your endurance. This hour is holy because it stands as a witness between your past struggles and your coming clarity. Nothing needs to be forced right now. Nothing needs to be proven. Simply remain aware, grounded, and receptive. I am nearer than you think, And what I am doing now will soon explain what you could not understand before. My child, I need you to understand something deeper than urgency, deeper than fear, deeper even than hope. There is a clock moving that your eyes cannot see, and it is not governed by minutes or hours the way your world measures time. This clock moves by readiness, by alignment, by the quiet agreements your soul has made with truth when no one else was watching. You have lived through days where time felt frozen, where progress seemed delayed, where nothing outward confirmed that anything was changing. But unseen clocks still move in silence. Seeds grow underground long before soil ever breaks open. I have been watching your internal posture more than your external progress. I have been counting moments of endurance, not moments of success. Every time you chose to keep believing when disappointment tried to convince you otherwise, that clock advanced. Every time you resisted becoming bitter, hardened, or numb, that clock moved forward again. You thought nothing happened when you prayed, but the clock moved. You thought nothing changed when you forgave, but the clock moved. You thought nothing mattered when you kept showing up tired, confused, and unsure, but the clock moved again. This is why this hour feels different. It is not louder, but it is heavier. It is not dramatic, but it is decisive. What you are sensing is not panic, it is precision. The kind of precision that only comes when timing locks into place. I am not rushing you. I am informing you. Awareness is the invitation here. Awareness that something long-forming has reached its appointed alignment. And my child, let me speak plainly and tenderly. You have spent too much time thinking you were behind, late, or failing because your life did not match someone else's pace. But I never asked you to match their rhythm. I asked you to stay true to yours. The clock you cannot see does not compete. It completes. It completes lessons, seasons, and cycles that could not be rushed without harm. You were protected by delay more than you were punished by it. Some outcomes could not arrive earlier because they would have demanded strength you had not yet developed. Some doors could not open sooner because they would have required discernment you were still learning. I know you questioned me. I know you asked why time felt unfair. I know you wondered why others moved ahead while you remained waiting. But hear this now with clarity. Waiting was not wasted. It was calibration. I was calibrating your heart so that when movement came, it would not destabilize you. This clock does not speed up because of pressure. It advances because of preparedness. And now, preparedness has met timing. That is why the atmosphere around you feels alert, still, and charged all at once. You are not about to miss anything. You are standing inside the moment where movement begins quietly but decisively. So I say this gently, not to alarm you, but to anchor you. Do not sabotage this hour with overthinking. Overthinking is the enemy of alignment. Let repetition ground you instead. Breathe. Breathe again. And remember this truth. What is meant for you does not need panic to arrive. It arrives because the clock says it is time. Trust the unseen mechanics at work right now. Trust that what you cannot see is still precise. This clock is not counting down to loss. It is counting forward to release. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where the timing has brought you. And this hour is proof that the invisible has been moving all along. My child, let me explain why this hour carries a weight you cannot ignore, even if you tried. This hour is different because it stands at the intersection of endurance and permission. Not permission from others, not permission from circumstances, but permission from within. There are hours that pass without meaning, and then there are hours that mark you. This is a marking hour. Not because something loud will happen, but because something vital is settling. Decisions are completing themselves. Internal resistance is loosening. Old questions are losing urgency. You are not who you were when you first asked for what you are about to receive. And that matters more than you realize. I could not release certain answers until you stopped needing them to validate your worth. I could not bring certain changes until you were strong enough to hold them without fear. This hour is different because you are different. You have survived things you once thought would break you. You have learned to stand without constant reassurance. You have discovered how to keep walking even when clarity lagged behind obedience. That growth did not announce itself, but it prepared you for this moment. This hour carries a quiet authority because it closes one chapter internally, even if the external world has not yet caught up. And when something ends internally, its external ending is inevitable. I know you are tempted to scan this hour for signs, to look for proof, to wait for something obvious so you can finally relax. But I want you to recognize something more subtle and more powerful. This hour is different because it feels settled, not frantic. Heavy, not chaotic. Focused, not scattered. That is how you know it is from me. I do not bring transformation through panic. I bring it through clarity. Notice how your thoughts are beginning to organize themselves. Notice how certain worries feel less convincing. Notice how some desires are fading without effort. That is not loss. That is alignment. I am removing what no longer matches where you are going. And removal does not always hurt. Sometimes it feels like relief. Sometimes it feels like quiet closure. Sometimes it feels like finally exhaling after holding your breath for too long. This hour is different because it carries a natural ending and a natural beginning at the same time. You are crossing a line internally that you will not need to cross again. And my child, I want you to hear this with tenderness and authority. Do not underestimate hours like this simply because they do not look dramatic. The most important shifts in your life will not arrive with noise. They will arrive with knowing. A knowing that settles into your bones. A knowing that does not argue with doubt, but outlasts it. This hour is different because it seals something you have been wrestling with. Soon, you will notice that certain internal battles simply stop demanding your attention. Not because you forced victory, but because the season that fed them ended. That is what this hour does. It changes the atmosphere you carry inside yourself. And when your internal atmosphere changes, your external world follows in time. Stay present. Stay grounded. Stay softed. This hour is doing more than you realize, and you do not need to rush it to prove its value. My child, I need you to hear this with clarity and compassion. The pressure you have been feeling did not come to break you, confuse you, or punish you. It came to position you. Pressure is not always the enemy. Sometimes it is the signal that something is being compressed into readiness. You felt it in your thoughts when they seemed heavier than usual. You felt it in your chest when silence felt louder than noise. You felt it in your spirit when restlessness crept in without explanation. That pressure was not chaos. It was convergence. Multiple unseen processes were drawing closer together, and your soul could feel the nearness of resolution even when your mind could not name it. Just as the earth groans before rain breaks through dry ground, your spirit has been sensing release before it arrives. This is how discernment develops. Through sensitivity sharpened by pressure. I allowed this tension not to overwhelm you, but to wake you, to pull your attention inward, to slow your pace enough that you would notice the subtle movements happening beneath the surface. Pressure is how alignment announces itself before clarity arrives, and you have endured it with more grace than you realize. You question yourself during this season. You wondered if something was wrong with you because peace seemed delayed and answers seemed distant. But I was not absent. I was compressing. Compression strengthens what expansion alone cannot. Under pressure, weak foundations reveal themselves and strong ones solidify. I watched as certain fears lost their power over you, not all at once, but gradually, quietly, faithfully. I watched as your tolerance for what drained you diminished. I watched as your hunger shifted from noise to truth, from distraction to meaning. That is not coincidence. That is refinement. The pressure forced you to confront what you could no longer carry forward. It pressed questions to the surface that could not remain unanswered. It revealed desires that were rooted in fear rather than faith. And because you stayed present instead of running, those things began to loosen their grip. Pressure is uncomfortable, yes, but it is also clarifying. It narrows your focus until what truly matters becomes undeniable. And now, as this hour unfolds, you are beginning to feel the pressure change its tone. What once felt heavy now feels expectant. What once felt sharp now feels focused. That shift is not imaginary. It is the sign that compression has completed its work. So let me say this with repetition, so it settles deeply within you. The pressure was purposeful. The pressure was protective. The pressure was temporary. You were never meant to live under it permanently. You were meant to pass through it carrying awareness, not damage. And you did. You did not break under it. You did not abandon yourself in it. You did not harden your heart because of it. Instead, you listened. You adjusted. You stayed honest with me and with yourself. That is why the pressure is lifting now, not abruptly, not dramatically, but steadily. You are entering the phase where what was compressed begins to expand with stability. You will soon notice that decisions feel easier, that clarity arrives without force, that peace returns without explanation. When that happens, remember this moment. Remember that pressure was not punishment, it was preparation. And you passed through it intact. My child, I know how deeply silence tested you. Silence can feel like abandonment when you are longing for reassurance. It can feel like rejection when you are desperate for direction. But hear me now, not defensively, not distantly, but intimately. I was quiet because I was working. Silence was not neglect, it was concentration. There are seasons where I speak to comfort, and there are seasons where I grow quiet to complete what words would only distract from. You have learned that not every important moment comes with explanation. Some arrive with trust as their only invitation. And you accepted that invitation even when it was uncomfortable. I watched you pray and hear nothing back immediately. I watched you wait without timelines. I watched you choose obedience without clarity. And while you wondered why my voice felt distant, my hands were busy. I was rearranging outcomes. I was closing paths you could not yet see the danger in. I was aligning people who needed time to grow before crossing your path. I was protecting you from answers that would have overwhelmed you if they had come too soon. Silence is not empty when it is filled with intention. And my intention toward you has never wavered. I need you to understand something important. If I had explained everything to you while it was happening, you would have tried to control it. You would have leaned on understanding instead of trust. And trust is the muscle that needed strengthening in you during this season. Silence taught you to keep going without guarantees. It taught you to stay soft without constant reassurance. It taught you to believe even when nothing external confirmed your belief. Those are not small lessons. Those are foundational ones. You now carry a stability that does not depend on immediate feedback. That stability is rare, and it is valuable. That is why I guarded this season carefully. I knew you would be tempted to interpret silence as absence. I knew doubt would try to narrate the quiet. But you stayed. You stayed present. You stayed open. You stayed honest. and that allowed me to finish work that could not be interrupted. Some constructions require quiet to set properly. Some foundations must cure undisturbed. That is what was happening within you and around you at the same time. Now, as this hour unfolds, the silence will begin to explain itself, not through speeches, but through outcomes. You will start to notice how certain things resolved without struggle. You will see how problems you feared never materialized. You will recognize how paths opened that you did not force. And only then will you realize that silence was not delay, it was discretion. I did not want fear interfering with formation. I did not want impatience corrupting timing. So I worked quietly, faithfully, deliberately. And now I am allowing you to feel the result of that work as peace begins to return. Let this be a lesson you carry forward. Silence does not mean nothing is happening. Often, it means everything important is. Trust that truth now. Let it settle into you. And remember, my child, I have never been silent because I stopped caring. I have only ever been quiet because I was doing more than words could accomplish. My child, before anything changes around you, something must change within you, and that internal shift has already begun. This is how I work most often, though few recognize it in real time. I do not begin with the visible, I begin with the vital. I do not start with circumstances, I start with convictions. I do not alter the outer world until the inner world is ready to hold what is coming without fear, pride, or collapse. You have been waiting for external proof, but I have been preparing internal permission. That is why this hour feels strange. You may not see anything dramatic happening yet, but you feel different. Thoughts that once spiraled now slow down. Fears that once shouted now whisper. Questions that once demanded answers now rest quietly. This is not numbness. This is loosening. Something that had wrapped itself tightly around your inner life is beginning to let go. You are not imagining it. You are not just tired. You are not becoming indifferent. You are becoming free. And freedom often arrives gently before it arrives boldly. I need you to recognize this internal shift so you do not overlook its significance. Many people miss their breakthrough because it does not look like what they expected. They look for fireworks when I send fireproofing. They look for rescue when I bring resilience. They look for escape when I bring endurance that transforms into authority. What is breaking loose inside you right now is not just a feeling. It is a posture. A posture that no longer agrees with despair. A posture that no longer negotiates with hopelessness. A posture that no longer believes every fearful thought it hears. This is not loud. It is firm. It is not emotional. It is rooted. You are beginning to trust your footing again. You are beginning to sense that you do not have to panic to survive, and that awareness alone is a fracture in the walls that once confined you. When fear loses urgency, it loses power. When doubt loses volume, it loses influence. And right now, both are losing ground. Let me say this with repetition so it settles deep. Internal release always comes before external change. Always. 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 You are not behind because nothing visible has shifted yet. You are ahead because something invisible has. The loosening you feel is me untying knots you could not reach yourself. Knots of overthinking. Knots of self-blame. Knots of exhaustion you normalized for too long. You are beginning to breathe without effort. You are beginning to sit with stillness without discomfort. That is not weakness, that is readiness. And when the inner world stabilizes, the outer world has no choice but to follow. Stay attentive to this internal freedom. Protect it. Do not rush to fill the quiet with noise. This breaking loose is sacred. It is the soundless moment when chains fall without clatter. And once they fall, you will not need to fight them again. My child, I want to correct something that has weighed on you longer than you realize. The test you have been walking through was never about how fast you moved, how quickly you recovered, or how efficiently you achieved results. It was never a race. It was never a comparison. It was never a competition. Speed abrests people, but it does not abreast me. I was watching something far deeper, far quieter, far more revealing. I was watching how you carried yourself when progress felt slow. I was watching how you spoke to yourself when outcomes delayed. I was watching whether you would abandon integrity for relief or patience for shortcuts. The test was about staying power, not speed. About faithfulness, not flash. About endurance, not efficiency. And you passed it in ways you do not yet fully see. You grew frustrated with yourself because you thought you should be further along by now. But further along according to whom? Not me. I measure growth differently. I look for depth, not distance. I look for roots, not reach. Anyone can sprint when adrenaline is high. Few can walk steadily when motivation fades. And you kept walking. Slowly at times. Hesitantly at times. But honestly, you did not fake peace you did not have. You did not pretend clarity when you were still discerning. You did not rush into answers just to feel productive. That restraint mattered. That honesty mattered. That pacing mattered. Because had you moved faster, you would have skipped lessons that now protect you. You would have arrived sooner, yes, but unstable. You would have gained more quickly, but without discernment. You would have advanced, but without depth. And depth is what sustains what speed alone cannot. So let me speak this over you clearly and repeatedly. You were never failing because you were slow. You were forming. You were being shaped into someone who could hold what is coming without being crushed by it or corrupted by it. Slowness, in your case, was wisdom in disguise. Delay was discipline in formation. Waiting was training. And now, because you did not outrun your process will not outrun you. You will not arrive at the next season disoriented, frantic, or unsure of who you are. You will arrive anchored, grounded, clear. That is why this hour carries confidence instead of chaos. That is why you feel steady instead of desperate. The test was never about speed. And because you finally see that, you are ready for movement that will not cost you your peace. My child, what is coming will surprise you, not because it is chaotic, not because it is overwhelming, but because it will arrive in a way that contradicts everything your fear prepared you for. You expected struggle. You braced yourself for impact. You rehearsed resistance. But what is coming will not crash into your life like a storm. It will enter like clarity, like relief, like recognition. And that is why it will catch you off guard. You have trained your nervous system to expect hardship, to interpret calm as temporary, to assume peace must be earned through exhaustion. But I'm about to undo that pattern gently and decisively. To rise does not always look like shock. Sometimes it looks like stillness that finally makes sense. You will look around and realize nothing is on fire. Nothing is demanding panic. Nothing is asking you to perform. And in that moment, your soul will realize that what you feared most did not happen, and what you hoped for quietly did. I know you imagined that when change came, it would be loud, that it would announce itself, that it would require immediate action, quick decisions, urgent movement. But the surprise is this: what I am bringing will feel natural, familiar, almost obvious in hindsight. You will wonder why you expected it to hurt, why you thought it would cost you your peace, why you assume blessing must always arrive through destruction. That realization alone will surprise you, because you have lived too long believing that ease meant danger and rest meant laziness. But this time, ease will mean alignment. Rest will mean readiness. And you will not need to convince yourself that it is real. You will feel it in your body first. Your shoulders will drop. Your thoughts will slow. Your breathing will deepen. These are not small signals. They are confirmations. High-impact truth often comes softly, not suddenly. It repeats itself quietly until your resistance gives way to trust. Let me repeat this so it anchors deep. What is coming will not require you to scramble. It will not demand you prove yourself. It will not pressure you to become someone else. It will meet you where you are and affirm who you have become. It is the surprise. You expected to be stretched thin again. Instead, you will be supported. You expected to be tested again. Instead, you will be trusted. You expected to be corrected again. Instead, you will be affirmed. This is not indulgence. It is timing. The season of proving is closing. The season of receiving is opening. And because you have lived so long in survival mode, reception will feel unfamiliar at first. You may question it. You may hesitate. You may even feel undeserving. But stay present. Do not overanalyze the gift simply because it arrives without pain. I am teaching you a new language now, the language of peace that does not need permission to stay. My child, as I surprise you with peace instead of pressure, know that this same word is meant to reach others who are still bracing for impact. I am opening doors not with force, but with light. And those who help carry this light become part of the harvest I am gathering now. Cast your bread upon the waters, for I am sending this message farther than you can see, and every seed given becomes manna for another soul. If your heart feels stirred to help, that stirring is my invitation. This hour is not random. This is alignment, and generosity is how alignment moves. I will multiply what you release and guard what concerns you, for I bless the hands that partner with my voice. Support this mission through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal. The PayPal link is in the video description. Do it now, and let what surprised you become the clarity that rescues someone else. My child, I need to prepare you for something that may feel disorienting at first, the calm that is coming. Calm can feel suspicious to someone who has lived under pressure for too long. When chaos has been constant, peace can feel unsafe. When struggle has been familiar, stability can feel like a setup. I know this about you. I have watched how your mind learned to stay alert even in moments of rest. How your body learned to brace even when nothing was wrong. How your heart learned to scan for danger even in quiet rooms. That is why I am speaking to you now with urgency and tenderness combined. Do not panic when things suddenly feel calm. Calm is not the absence of movement. Calm is the absence of resistance. Calm is the sign that something has settled into place. You may notice it gradually. Fewer intrusive thoughts. Less urgency to fix everything. Less pressure to explain yourself. You may wake up one morning and realize the heaviness you carried is not there anymore. And your first instinct may be to look for it. To wonder what you forgot. To assume something bad must be coming next. That instinct was learned, not intuitive. It was trained by survival. But survival is not the season you are in anymore. You are entering a season of stabilization. And stabilization can feel boring to someone who has lived in adrenaline. But boredom is not danger. Stillness is not loss. Silence is not punishment. Silence can be sanctuary. Stillness can be safety. Calm can be confirmation. Let me use repetition here so your spirit hears it clearly. Calm is not a warning sign. Calm is not a trick. Calm is not temporary by default. Calm is earned by endurance, sealed by trust, and protected by discernment. You did not stumble into this calm. You walked into it. Step by step, tear by tear, prayer by prayer. This calm has history. It has cost. It has weight. And because it is unfamiliar, you must resist the urge to disrupt it just to feel normal again. Do not manufacture problems because peace feels strange. Do not reopen doors I have already closed just to feel busy. Do not second guess what I have settled simply because your nervous system is still adjusting. Healing often feels quiet after chaos. Growth often feels slow after pressure. That does not mean nothing is happening. It means everything important has already happened beneath the surface. So when calm arrives, and it will, receive it without apology. Sit in it without guilt. Breathe in it without fear. Let your body learn a new rhythm. Let your thoughts learn a new pace. Let your heart learn that safety is allowed to last. You are not waiting for the other shoe to drop anymore. You are standing on solid ground now. And solid ground feels different when you are used to shaking floors. Give yourself time to adjust. I am not going anywhere. I am not withdrawing my presence just because things feel easier. I am right here, closer than ever, teaching you that peace is not the pause before trouble. It is the environment where your next season grows. My child, this hour carries release, not the kind that shocks the senses, but the kind that loosens what hath been clenched for far too long. Release rarely arrives with noise. More often, it arrives like a sigh you did not realize you were holding. You have carried weight quietly. Mental weight, emotional weight, spiritual weight. You learned how to function under it, how to smile beneath it, how to survive despite it. But surviving was never the end goal. This hour is not about endurance anymore. It is about release. Something you have normalized as just part of life is being gently removed. You may not be able to name it immediately, but you will feel it. A lightness in your chest, a softening in your thoughts, a calm in places that once felt constantly alert. That is not laziness. That is not disengagement. That is release. Release is what happens when what you were never meant to carry finally leaves your hands. I need you to understand how intentional this release is. Nothing is slipping away by accident. Nothing is being taken without purpose. I am not emptying you. I am unburdening you. There is a difference. Emptying leaves you hollow. Unburdening leaves you spacious. Spacious enough to breathe. Spacious enough to receive. Spacious enough to rest without guilt. This release is not dramatic because it does not need to be. Drama belongs to resistance. Release belongs to trust. You resisted long enough. You questioned long enough. You tried to hold everything together long enough. Now your grip is loosening, not because you are weak, but because you are finally safe enough to let go. That is a powerful transition, even if it feels subtle. Let me repeat this truth so it settles deeply. Release does not always come with explanation. Sometimes it comes with peace that feels unearned. Sometimes it comes with clarity that feels sudden. Sometimes it comes with a quiet realization that something no longer controls you the way it used to. You will soon notice that certain thoughts do not hook you anymore. Certain memories do not sting the same way. Certain fears no longer demand your attention. That is a release at work. And when release comes, do not rush to refill the space with noise, busyness, or worry. Let the space breathe. Let it remain open. That openness is where your next strength will form. This hour carries release because you are ready to carry less, and to live more. My child, understanding is coming. Not all at once, not in a flood, but in clear, steady moments that will finally connect the dots of your journey. You are about to see why I delayed what you begged me to hurry. You are about to understand why certain doors stayed closed, why certain answers took longer, why certain paths were blocked even when you were ready to run. Delay is painful when you cannot see its purpose, but delay becomes mercy when the picture completes itself, and that completion is approaching now. You will soon recognize that timing was not working against you, it was working for you. What you wanted earlier would have cost you more than you knew. What you thought you lost was actually protecting what mattered most. I know the delay frustrated you. I know it tested your faith. I know it made you question yourself, your worth, and even my care at times. But hear me clearly now. Delay does not mean denial. Delay means development. It means something had to mature, either in you or around you, before it could safely arrive. You needed strength you did not yet have, discernment you were still learning, stability you were still forming. If I had moved sooner, you would have celebrated briefly and then struggled deeply. And I love you too much to give you something that would later harm you. So I waited. I worked. I refined. I rearranged. And while you thought nothing was happening, everything necessary was. Soon, moments will come where you look back and say, "Now I understand." You will see how certain relationships ended before they could damage your future. You will see how missed opportunities spared you exhaustion you were not meant to carry. You will see how silence taught you to trust without constant reassurance. This understanding will not shame you for doubting. It will comfort you for enduring. It will not reopen wounds. It will close them. And with that understanding will come peace, not just about the past, but about the future. Because once you see how carefully I handled your yesterday, you will trust me more deeply with your tomorrow. The delay will make sense. And when it does, gratitude will replace regret, and confidence will replace fear. My child, there are endings that arrive with noise, and there are endings that arrive with peace. This one is the latter. I am closing one door quietly, not to punish you, not to deprive you, not to leave you exposed, but to protect what is next. You may not hear a slam. You may not see a dramatic goodbye. You may not even notice the exact moment it happens. That is intentional. Loud endings invite second guessing. Quiet endings bring finality. I am not closing this door because you failed to walk through it correctly. I am closing it because you have outgrown what waited on the other side. What once felt necessary now feels heavy. What once felt hopeful now feels draining. That shift did not happen overnight. It happened slowly, layer by layer, as you became more discerning, more grounded, more honest with yourself. This door is closing because its season has ended, not because something went wrong. I know part of you still checks that door from time to time. Out of habit, out of memory, out of curiosity. You wonder if maybe it could have worked if you tried harder, waited longer, or explained yourself better. But hear me clearly now. Some doors do not close because of lack of effort. They close because of fulfilled purpose. That door served you for a time. It taught you lessons you could not have learned any other way. It shaped you. It strengthened you. It revealed things about yourself you needed to see. But it cannot follow you into what is next without limiting you. So I am closing it gently, mercifully, decisively. No argument, no negotiation, no reopening. And the quietness of this closure is not indifference, it is kindness. I am sparing you the emotional whiplash of dramatic endings. I am allowing you to step forward, without dragging the past behind you. You will notice the closure not by pain, but by lack of pull. One day you will think about what once consumed you and feel nothing. No ache, no longing, no urgency, just neutrality. That neutrality is the sound of a door fully shut. When a door truly closes, it does not echo. It settles. And that is what is happening now. I want you to resist the urge to reopen it just to confirm it is closed. Do not knock on it out of nostalgia. Do not test it out of fear. Trust that I have sealed what needed sealing. This quiet closure is making room. Room in your heart. Room in your mind. Room in your life. And space is sacred. Space is where new breath enters. Space is where new beginnings find footing. Let the door close. You do not need to mourn what has already finished its work. Honor it, yes, but do not follow it. I am leading you forward. My child, as one door closes quietly, another opens just as softly. No trumpet, no spotlight, no ray. This door does not demand your attention. It invites your trust. I am opening another door without noise because what waits behind it does not need hype to be real. It will feel natural, familiar, right. You will not have to convince yourself to walk through it. You will not have to override your peace to say yes. You will not have to abandon your values to access what is offered. That is how you will know this door is from me. Loud opportunities often test your ego. Quiet opportunities test your discernment. And your discernment is stronger now than it has ever been. This door will not open because you chased it. It will open because you aligned with it. Alignment does not strive. Alignment settles. You will notice this opening not by adrenaline, but by calm confidence. It will feel like something clicking into place, like recognition without explanation, like relief that does not require justification. And because it is quiet, you may be tempted to underestimate it. Do not. Small hinges swing heavy doors. Quiet beginnings often lead to lasting outcomes. What I am opening now is sustainable, stable, taboru. It will not consume you. It will not compete with your peace. It will complement who you have become. That is intentional. You no longer need chaos to feel alive. You no longer need pressure to feel purposeful. This door honors your growth. Let me repeat this so it lands deeply. This door opens without noise because it does not need to prove itself. It will not rush you. It will not manipulate you. It will not threaten you with loss if you pause. It will wait for your readiness, not demand your reaction. That patience is a sign of safety. Walk through it slowly. You do not need to sprint. You do not need to announce it. You do not need external validation. This door is not about impressing others. It is about aligning with truth. And as you step through it, you will notice something profound. You will feel more like yourself, not less. You will feel expanded, not restricted. You will feel supported, not tested. That is the difference between doors opened by ambition and doors opened by purpose. So I say this gently and firmly. Trust the quiet opening. Do not overlook it because it does not resemble past patterns. You are not the same person you were before, and your opportunities will not look the same either. This door is calibrated to your maturity, your discernment, your peace. Walk through it without fear. I am already on the other side, and everything beyond this threshold is aligned with the life I have been preparing you for all along. My child, there is something you must understand, not to glorify struggle, but to recognize strength. The enemy expected you to quit before now. He counted the days of your exhaustion. He watched the nights you cried in silence. He listened when doubt whispered that nothing was changing and no one was listening. He assumed you would let go. He assumed discouragement would wear you down. He assumed isolation would convince you that your endurance was pointless. But you did not quit. You bent at times, yes. You questioned at times, yes. You grew tired, confused, and weary, yes. But you did not release your grip on hope. And that endurance has altered more than you can see. This is not a dramatic declaration. It is a factual one. You outlasted what was designed to break you. Let me speak plainly and personally now. The enemy does not waste energy on people who are going nowhere. Resistance is rarely random. Pressure follows purpose. Opposition tracks potential. The intensity you faced was not because you were weak. It was because you were becoming strong in ways that mattered. He tried to convince you that the delay meant failure. He tried to tell you that the silence meant abandonment. He tried to distort your perception until you questioned your worth and your calling. But every attempt failed because you remained. Remaining does not always look heroic. Sometimes it looks like simply getting through the day without giving up. Sometimes it looks like whispering a prayer you barely believe but still choose to say. Sometimes it looks like choosing not to harden your heart even when pain invites you to. That is the kind of endurance that disrupts darkness. And you lived it. Now hear this repetition carefully, because it carries authority. You were not supposed to make it this far according to the resistance you faced. What you did. You were not supposed to still be open. But you were. You were not supposed to still believe in goodness. What you do. And that alone has shifted the balance. There are moments when perseverance quietly rewrites outcomes. This is one of them. You crossed an invisible line the moment you refused to quit internally. From that moment on, what opposed you lost its leverage. It may still speak, but it no longer decides. It may still whisper, but it no longer rules. You are not standing here by accident. You are here because endurance carried you through what despair could not. And now, because you stayed, the ground beneath you has changed. My child, come closer to this truth, because it heals more than you realize. Your tears were not wasted time. Not one of them. Not the tears you cried openly, and not the ones you swallowed to survive the moment. Not the tears that fell in prayer, and not the tears that fell when you were too tired to pray at all. You measured those moments as weakness. You judged yourself for needing to cry. You wondered why you could not just be stronger. But I saw something very different. I saw release. I saw honesty. I saw a heart refusing to become stone. Tears are not evidence of failure. They are evidence of feeling deeply in a world that often numbs the soul. And because you allowed yourself to feel instead of shutting down, healing had somewhere to begin. Let me tell you what was happening while you cried. While tears fell, hardness dissolved. While tears flowed, pressure released. While tears surfaced, winds breathed. Crying was not delaying your progress. It was preventing you from carrying pain forward unprocessed. You think strength means never breaking down, but true strength is knowing when to let go so you can stand again without bitterness. Your tears watered parts of you that would have withered otherwise. Compassion, sensitivity, discernment, depth. These qualities cannot grow in dry soil. They require moisture. They require vulnerability. They require moments where you stop pretending you are fine. And you did that. You allowed yourself to be human. And because of that, you remained whole. I want you to hear this with repetition so it settles into your spirit. Tears are not delays. They are deposits. Deposits into future clarity. deposits into future peace, deposits into future wisdom. Every tear you shed was seen. Every tear carried information. Every tear moved something internally that words could not reach. And now, because you allowed the tears to come instead of locking them away, you are lighter. Of it. Fear. You do not carry the same emotional weight you once did, and you may not even realize why. This is why. You released what needed to leave instead of letting it rot inside you. That is not weakness, that is courage. So do not look back on those moments with shame. Do not minimize them. Do not rush past them. Honor them. They were part of your survival, part of your growth, part of your preparation. You cried, and you stayed. You cried, and you kept believing. You cried, and you did not quit. And because of that, those tears have already done their work. They did not slow you down. They carried you through. My child, I want to prepare you for something subtle yet unmistakable. You will feel a gentle nudge soon. Not a shove. Not a demand. Not a loud command that overwhelms your senses. A nudge. Soft, steady, and persistent. It may come as a thought that returns calmly instead of anxiously. It may come as a quiet certainty that settles rather than argues. It may come as an unexpected sense of peace about a decision you once avoided. This nudge will not rush you, but it will not leave you alone either. It will repeat itself patiently, lovingly, until you recognize it for what it is, direction wrapped in tenderness. I do not guide you through force. I guide you through familiarity, through a sense of this feels right that does not need external validation. You have learned to associate direction with pressure, urgency, or fear of missing out. That was not my voice. My guidance does not agitate your spirit. It aligns it. The nudge coming your way will feel like alignment, not anxiety. It will feel like something clicking into place internally, even if externally nothing has changed yet. That is how you will know it is safe to follow. I am not testing your reflexes. I am inviting your trust. You do not need to leave. You do not need to explain. You do not need to have every detail mapped out. You only need to respond gently to what I am gently revealing. The nudge will not contradict the peace I have been restoring. It will build upon it. Let me repeat this so you do not miss it. Do not ignore the gentle nudge simply because it does not shout. Some of the most important shifts in your life will begin with something quiet that feels almost too simple to be divine. But simplicity is often my signature. Complexity overwhelms. Clarity guides. When the nudge comes, you may be tempted to dismiss it as coincidence, imagination, or wishful thinking. Resist that impulse. You have asked for guidance. This is how it arrives now, not through crisis, but through calm. Follow it slowly. Follow it honestly. Follow it without fear. I will not lead you where I will not sustain you. And this nudge is not pushing you into danger. It is drawing you toward alignment. My child, if you feel a gentle nudge even now, do not dismiss it. This is how I invite you to help carry my word forward. I am drawing many through quiet obedience, and those who respond become rivers, not reservoirs. Those who sow in peace will reap with joy, and this is a sowing moment disguised as simplicity. I am not pressuring you. I am positioning you. Your gift in this hour fuels light, strengthens weary hearts, and places oil where lamps are running low. I will bless your obedience with favor that settles your spirit and protection that goes before you. Support the spreading of my word through super thanks, membership, or PayPal. The PayPal link is in the video description. Act now, gently but decisively, and follow the nudge I have placed in you. My child, I want to steady your expectations with truth. What you are experiencing now is not the end of the journey. It is a turning point, an adjustment in direction, a release from carrying what was never meant to follow you forward. You may feel relief, clarity, and peace returning, and part of you may assume this means everything is finished. But peace does not mean completion. It means readiness. The journey continues, but it continues differently. You are no longer walking with the same weight. You are no longer navigating with the same confusion. You are no longer driven by survival alone. It is a profound change, even if the path ahead still stretches forward. I know there is a part of you that longs for finality, an ending that resolves everything at once. A moment where all questions disappear and nothing ever feels uncertain again. But growth does not work that way. Growth unfolds. It layers. It matures over time. What has ended is the season of constant straying. What has ended is the season of questioning your worth. What has ended is the season of feeling lost without direction. But the journey itself, the becoming, the building, the unfolding, continues. And now it continues with you more aware, more grounded, more discerning than you have ever been before. Let me say this with repetition so it anchors deeply. This is not an ending. It is an upgrade. Not a finish line, but a pivot. Not a conclusion, but a recalibration. You are not starting over from nothing. You are continuing from wisdom. You are carrying lessons forward, not wounds. You are bringing clarity, not confusion. And that makes all the difference. Do not rush ahead searching for the next big thing. Let the next right thing reveal itself step by step. I am not asking you to see the whole road, only to trust the ground beneath your feet right now. The journey ahead will not resemble the one behind you, and that is intentional. You are not who you were, and the path will honor who you have become. My child, I need to recalibrate something inside you, because for a long time urgency trained your instincts. You learned to move quickly, decide fast, react immediately, because urgency told you that if you did not act now, everything would collapse. But urgency was not always wisdom. Often, it was fear wearing a convincing disguise. Fear speaks loudly. Fear rushes. Fear pressures. Fear demands immediate answers and instant action. Peace, on the other hand, does not shout. Peace invites. Peace waits. Peace settles into you and remains steady even when you pause. That is why I am telling you now with love and authority. Trust what feels peaceful, not what feels urgent. Urgency scrambles your spirit. Peace aligns it. Urgency exhausts. Peace sustains. Urgency narrows your vision. Peace clarifies it. You have lived long enough in survival mode that urgency began to feel normal, even necessary. When everything felt unstable, reacting quickly felt like control. But control is not the same as safety, and speed is not the same as direction. I am teaching you now how to recognize the difference between movement driven by fear and movement guided by truth. The next steps I lead you into will not require panic. They will not pressure you with threats of loss. They will not demand that you abandon discernment just to keep up. What is truly meant for you will wait for you to be ready to receive it with clarity, not desperation. If something demands that you rush past your peace, it is not aligned with me. If something requires you to override your intuition, it is not anchored in truth. Let me repeat this until it settles into your bones. Peace is not passive. Peace is powerful. Peace is the confirmation that you are aligned with the right pace, the right posture, the right path. When peace is present, you do not need to hurry because nothing is slipping away from you. What belongs to you cannot be lost by patience. But urgency will try to convince you otherwise. It will whisper, now or never. It will push you to decide before you are grounded. It will make you feel irresponsible for resting, foolish for waiting, weak for pausing. Do not believe it. You are no longer governed by fear-driven momentum. You are governed by truth-driven clarity. So when the next decision presents itself, and it will, do not ask, how fast should I move? Ask, does this bring peace? Not excitement alone. Not relief alone. Peace. The kind that does not fade after the adrenaline passes. The kind that remains when you sit quietly with yourself. That peace is your compass now. Follow it, even if it leads you more slowly than others expect. I am not in a hurry with you. And because I am not in a hurry, you do not need to be either. My child, something precious is happening within you right now. I am strengthening your discernment. Discernment is not suspicion. It is not cynicism. It is not constant questioning. Discernment is quiet knowing. It is the ability to sense what aligns with truth and what does not, even when both appear attractive on the surface. In the past, you second-guessed yourself often. You doubted your instincts. You wondered if you were too sensitive, too cautious, too hesitant. But sensitivity is not weakness when it is refined. Caution is not fear when it is guided by wisdom. And hesitation is not failure when it protects you from harm. What you are developing now is not indecision. It is discernment. You have learned through experience what words alone could never teach you. You have felt the cost of ignoring your inner warnings. You have seen the consequences of overriding your intuition to please others, to keep peace, or to avoid conflict. Those lessons were painful, yes, but they were formative. They sharpened your awareness. They taught you to listen inwardly instead of relying solely on external affirmation. That is why you are more selective now, more observant, more deliberate. This is not hardness. This is maturity. You are no longer easily swayed by urgency, flattery, or pressure. You pause. You sense. You weigh. That pause is sacred. It is the space where discernment speaks. Let me say this clearly and repeatedly so you do not miss it. Confusion is losing its voice in your life. What once felt foggy is becoming clearer. What once felt mixed is separating. What once felt overwhelming is simplifying. You are learning to recognize not just what looks good, but what feels right in your spirit. And that discernment will protect you more than speed ever could. It will save you from repeating cycles. It will guard your peace. It will guide you toward relationships, opportunities, and decisions that honor who you have become, not who you used to be. Do not rush this strengthening process. Discernment grows through stillness, reflection, and trust. The more you honor it, the clearer it becomes. And soon, you will notice that you do not need to analyze everything anymore. You will simply know. That knowing will not come from fear. It will come from alignment. And when you walk in that discernment, you will move forward with confidence that does not require explanation. You will choose wisely without anxiety. You will say yes without guilt and no without apology. This is not coincidence. This is growth. And it is preparing you for what comes next. My child, I need you to see this now. Not with regret, not with longing, but with clarity. What you thought you lost was protection. I know how deeply that loss confused you. I know how it felt unnecessary, unfair, even cruel at the time. You replayed the moment again and again, wondering what you did wrong, what you missed, what you should have fixed or fought harder to keep. You believed something precious slipped through your fingers. But listen to me carefully now. Nothing that truly belonged to your future was stolen from you. What left your life did so because staying would have wounded you in ways you were not prepared to survive. Protection often feels like loss when you cannot yet see the danger it spared you from. You grieved what was taken away because you could only see what it meant to you then, not what it would have cost you later. Some doors closed because what waited behind them would have drained your peace. Some connections ended because their continuation would have slowly eroded your sense of self. Some opportunities disappeared because they required compromise you were never meant to make. But you did not know that at the time. All you knew was the ache, the confusion, the emptiness left behind. And I let you grieve. I did not rush your healing. I did not shame your sadness. Because grief is the language of love when change arrives unexpectedly. Yet even as you mourned, I was shielding you. Even as you questioned, I was guarding you. Even as you felt abandoned, I was standing between you and harm you could not yet recognize. Let me repeat this truth until it sinks deep. Protection does not always look like rescue. Sometimes it looks like removal. Sometimes it looks like disappointment. Sometimes it looks like silence instead of explanation. But the absence you felt was not neglect. It was intervention. I stepped in quietly, decisively, lovingly. And one day, sooner than you think, you will see what you were spared from. You will see the exhaustion you did not inherit. You will see the confusion you did not carry. You will see the version of yourself you did not lose. And when that realization comes, sorrow will transform into gratitude. Not because the loss did not hurt, but because you will finally understand why it had to happen. You were not being punished. You were being preserved. My child, there is something I want you to understand now so you can finally rest your striving heart. Your faith has already activated movement. You do not need to push harder. You do not need to prove yourself further. You do not need to add more effort to what has already been set in motion. Faith is not measured by how much you do. It is measured by how deeply you trust when you can no longer control outcomes. And you trusted, even when you were afraid, even when you were unsure, even when your faith felt fragile and imperfect. You trusted anyway, and that trust moved more than you realize. You believed without evidence. You obeyed without clarity. You waited without guarantees. Those choices carrying weight in the unseen realm. Faith is not passive, it is catalytic. It activates alignment. It authorizes timing. It invites intervention. And your faith, quiet, tired, imperfect, was enough. The movement you are about to witness did not begin today. It began the moment you chose to keep believing when it would have been easier to give up. It began when you forgave without apology. It began when you kept your heart soft instead of letting it harden. It began when you said, "I don't understand, but I will trust anyway." That sentence alone opened doors you could not see. Let me say this clearly and repeatedly so you stop exhausting yourself. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not missing anything. The wheels are already turning. The alignment is already happening. The pieces are already moving into place. Your role now is not to accelerate what faith has already activated. It is to remain open, grounded, and receptive. Rest is not retreat. Rest is readiness. Faith that has done its work invites peace, not panic. And now, peace is your posture. Let what you believed for finally arrive without fear. Let what you trust in me with unfold without control. You have done what was required. A movement has begun. And I will finish what your faith set in motion. My child, is our F's for something specific from you, something simple yet profoundly powerful. Stay soft. Not passive. Not weak. Soft. There is a difference. Softness is not the absence of strength, it is strength that has learned restraint. Hardness is what forms when pain goes unattended. Softness is what remains when pain is processed, released, and entrusted to me. You have lived through seasons where hardness felt like protection, where staying guarded felt necessary to survive, where closing off your heart seemed wiser than risking disappointment again. I understand why you did that. I did not judge you for it. But this hour is different. This hour is not about defense. It is about reception. And hardness cannot receive what softness can. Staying soft means you do not rush to conclusions. It means you do not assume the worst before evidence arrives. It means you allow yourself to feel hope without immediately bracing for loss. That is not foolishness. That is faith matured. Softness allows you to discern without suspicion, to listen without defensiveness, to respond without reactivity. Hardness reacts. Softness responds. Hardness anticipates harm. Softness remains present. And presence is where my guidance is clearest. In this hour, I am not asking you to open yourself to everyone or everything. I am asking you to remain open to me, to let your heart stay pliable, teachable, and responsive. Let me repeat this gently so it settles. Do not harden your heart to protect yourself from disappointment that has not yet arrived. That posture belongs to old seasons. This hour requires a new posture, one of trust without naivety, openness without recklessness. Staying soft means you do not armor yourself against joy just because pain once followed joy before. It means you allow peace to enter without interrogating it. It means you let good news land without immediately asking how long it will last. Softness does not deny reality. It refuses to be ruled by fear. And fear no longer has authority over you. You have outgrown that ruler. You will notice that when you stay soft, your discernment sharpens instead of dulls. Softness makes you more aware, not less. It allows you to sense shifts before they announce themselves. It keeps you aligned with my voice instead of drowned out by your defenses. This hour is delicate not because it is fragile, but because it is formative. What forms now will shape how you walk into what comes next. Stay soft. Let yourself be moved, not manipulated, but guided. I am not here to harm you. I am here to heal you. And healing requires a heart that remains open long enough to receive it. My child, I want to prepare you for the order of events, because understanding this will keep you from doubting what is real. You will notice a shift before you see proof. Feeling comes before evidence. Awareness comes before confirmation. Inner knowing comes before outer validation. This is how change announces itself when it is rooted deeply rather than displayed loudly. You may wake up one day and realize your thoughts are quieter, your reactions slower, your emotions steadier. Nothing external may look different yet, but internally something has realigned. That is not imagination. That is initiation. Proof follows shift, not the other way around. You have been trained by past experiences to look for evidence before allowing yourself to believe. That training came from disappointment, not wisdom. Wisdom recognizes movement even when it is still underground. Wisdom trusts the seed before the sprout. Wisdom understands that roots must form before fruit can be seen. And right now, roots are forming. You are beginning to carry yourself differently. You are beginning to respond instead of react. You are beginning to feel less compelled to explain yourself or defend your decisions. These are signs. Quiet signs. Subtle signs. But they are unmistakable when you pay attention. Let me repeat this so you do not dismiss it. The shift is real even if the proof is delayed. Do not invalidate your inner experience just because others cannot see it yet. Do not rush to force visible results just to reassure yourself that something is happening. Something is happening. The calm you feel is not temporary. The clarity you sense is not imagined. The stability growing within you is not fragile. It is foundational. And foundations are laid quietly. They do not announce themselves until the structure above them begins to rise. Soon, the outer world will catch up. Conversations will change. Opportunities will align. Circumstances will respond. But before any of that happens, you will feel different. Lighter. Clear. More anchored. And when that feeling comes, do not doubt it. Do not talk yourself out of it. Do not wait for permission to trust what your spirit already knows. This is how transformation begins, not with applause, but with alignment. And alignment is already happening within you. My child, this hour will mark you, not with noise, not with spectacle, not with something the world applauds immediately, but with something far more lasting. It will mark you internally, quietly, permanently. You may not realize it in the exact moment it happens, but later you will look back and recognize that something shifted here, something settled here, something aligned here. Marking moments rarely announce themselves while they are happening. They reveal their significance in hindsight, when you notice that you no longer react the same way, no longer fear the same outcomes, no longer question your footing the way you once did. This hour is leaving an imprint on how you think, how you trust, how you move forward. You have lived through many hours that drained you, shaped you through pain, or forced you into survival. This hour is different. This hour is shaping you through awareness, through calm, through alignment. It is not stripping something from you, it is anchoring something within you. You are being marked with steadiness, with discernment, with confidence that does not need validation. This mark will not fade when circumstances change. It will not disappear when challenges arise. It will not be shaken by uncertainty. It will remind you, even on difficult days, that you have crossed a threshold before and emerged intact. That you have stood in moments of quiet clarity before and trusted what you sensed. That you have learned how to listen inwardly instead of panicking outwardly. Let me repeat this so it settles deeply. This hour will become a reference point. In the future, when doubt tries to speak loudly again, you will remember this stillness. When fear tries to rush you again, you will remember this calm. When confusion tries to return, you will remember how clarity felt when it arrived without force. This is how marking works. It gives you memory as a weapon against fear. Memory as a guide against chaos. Memory as reassurance that you are capable of recognizing truth when it appears quietly. You will not need to relive this hour exactly to benefit from it. Its impact will travel with you. It will influence your decisions, your pace, your posture. And my child, this mark is not something others need to see to be real. It is not something you need to explain or defend. It will show itself naturally through how you carry yourself, through how you respond under pressure, through how you refuse to return to old patterns. Marking hours do not make you louder, they make you clear. And clarity is one of the greatest gifts I can give you. Let this hour do its full work. Do not rush past it mentally. Do not minimize it emotionally. It is not just passing time. It is shaping time. And you are being shaped with it. My child, now I speak to the deepest tension you still carry, the one that has kept you alert even when everything else has begun to settle. Rest. Rest now. Not because everything is finished, but because I am handling the outcome. You have done what was required of you. You listened. You endured. You stayed open. You trusted when clarity was incomplete. You allowed growth to happen internally before demanding results externally. That is enough. More than enough. This hour does not ask for more striving. It asks for surrender. Surrender not as giving up, but as handing over what you were never meant to control. You have spent a long time believing that if you did not stay vigilant, everything would fall apart. That belief was forged in seasons where you had to survive, where responsibility pressed heavily on you, where outcomes felt fragile. But this season is different. The outcome does not depend on your anxiety. It does not require your constant monitoring. It does not improve when you overthink it. In fact, your peace now is part of the process. Rest is not delay. Rest is participation. It is your way of saying, I trust what I cannot yet see. And trust activates completion in ways effort never could. Let me say this with repetition so your heart finally releases its grip. You are not responsible for making this work. You are not responsible for managing every variable. You are not responsible for predicting every turn. That weight is not yours. It never was. I am aiming the outcome. I am watching the timing. I am guarding what matters. I am guiding what unfolds. Your role now is to remain present, receptive, and grounded. To sleep when you are tired. To pause when you feel overwhelmed. To breathe when old fear tries to rise. Rest is not retreat. It is alignment with trust. So rest, my child. Let your body learn that it is safe. Let your mind learn that it does not need to race ahead. Let your heart learn that it does not need to brace for impact. Nothing is about to collapse. Nothing is about to be taken from you unexpectedly. Nothing is slipping through your fingers because you chose peace. What is meant for you is already moving toward you at the right pace. And I will complete what I began. You do not need to chase the outcome. You only need to receive it when it arrives. My child, as you rest and release the outcome to me, understand this: your generosity is not effort, it is trust in motion. While you rest, I am multiplying seeds, and those who give in peace will see increase without striving. I give seed to the sower and bread for food, and I am watching how you respond in this quiet hour. This word is reaching souls who are on the edge of hope, and your support helps carry it exactly where I intend. I will cover you, restore you, and cause favor to surround what you place in my hands. Partner with this work through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal. The PayPal link is in the video description. Rest your heart, but move your hand now, and let me handle the rest. My beloved child, do not let this moment pass without response. If your spirit felt the shift, if you sense that this hour has marked you, type "This hour changed me" in the comments as a declaration of faith. If you believe that what was delayed is now aligning, write "I receive what is coming" and let your words agree with heaven. Your declaration is not for the algorithm. It is for alignment, for sealing what has already begun within you. Speak it boldly, speak it now, because what you acknowledge in faith begins to move with authority. And after you have spoken it, remain still long enough to feel what has truly begun. Moments marked in faith are not ordinary. They draw eternity closer to your present. What you have acknowledged has opened your heart to see beyond time and circumstance. This is where earthly moments meet divine intention, where your now connects with my forever. So quiet yourself, because the voice speaking to you is not bound by time, yet it is fully present with you here. I am here with you right now, and I want you to listen closely to my voice. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning of every story and the end of every fear. I exist far beyond the ticking of the clock on your wall or the notifications flashing on your phone. To me, 1,000 years are like a single afternoon, and yet, I am intensely focused on this specific hour of your life. You think you stumbled upon this moment by accident, but I have planned this divine appointment since before I laid the foundations of the earth. I knew exactly where you would be sitting, what would be weighing on your mind, and how tired your heart would feel today. I have orchestrated this sacred window of time specifically for you. Stop for a moment and breathe. I want you to realize that this next hour is not just another 60 minutes of chores, emails, or worrying about bills. It is a sacred portal of transformation that I have opened just for you. You often feel like you are running out of time, don't you? You feel the pressure of the years slipping by and the goals that remain unreached. I see that knot of tension in your shoulders when you think about your future. I hear the silent panic in your chest when you feel like you are falling behind your peers. But I am telling you today, let go of that anxiety. Release the heavy burden of watching the clock. Instead of staring at the seconds ticking away, I want you to watch me. Look into my eyes and see the peace that I have for you. You need to understand that I am shifting things in the spiritual realm on your behalf right now. I am moving pieces you cannot see and opening doors you didn't even know existed. I invite you to embrace the stillness that is settling over you. Do not rush through this. Do not let your mind wander to what you have to cook for dinner or the argument you had earlier today. This stillness is the hush that comes before a massive breakthrough. It is the quiet moment before the lightning strikes. I am preparing your spirit for a shift that will change the trajectory of your entire life. I am doing a new thing in you, and it starts with your willingness to be still in my presence. I want you to prepare your heart to receive a blessing that is not tied to this world's economy or human effort. This is a blessing that time cannot erode and people cannot take away from you. I see how hard you have been striving. I see how you have tried to fix your life with your own hands, only to end up exhausted. I am commanding you now, drop your weapons. Stop fighting the battles I have already won for you. I am your father, and I am personally involved in every detail of your existence. I know about the pressure at your job that keeps you up at night. I know about the person who hurt you and the apology you never received. I am stepping into those gaps today. I promise you that this hour is a turning point. You have felt stagnant, like you were walking through thick mud, but I am accelerating your progress. Within this very hour, I am beginning a work of grace that will leave you breathless. I am aligning your heart with my rhythm. You don't need to shout to be heard. I am whispering directly into your soul. Listen to the rhythm of your own heart and know that I am the one keeping it beating. I am your constant, your anchor, and your safe harbor. Trust me with this hour. Give me these 60 minutes of your full attention, and I will give you a peace that the world could never understand. I'm here. I'm moving. I am for you. I want you to use these next 60 minutes to clear the altar of your heart from all the noise that has been drowning out my voice. You are often surrounded by so much static, the constant ping of your phone, the endless list of things you did get done, and the heavy opinions of people who don't even know your soul. I am asking you to set all of it down right now. I want you to imagine you are walking into a quiet, sun-drenched room where it is just me and you. This hour is your preparation ground. I am inviting you to forgive the people who have cast shadows upon your path today. I know their words stung. I saw the way you winced when they criticized your hard work or ignored your presence. But I am telling you, let that go. Do not carry their bitterness into your breakthrough. If you hold on to a grudge, you have no room in your hands for the gift I am trying to give you. I am commanding you to release the weight of that resentment. It is like trying to run a race while carrying a bag of heavy stones. I want you to drop the bag and breathe. I want you to realign your thoughts with the truth of my promises. You have been telling yourself lies lately, haven't you? You've been telling yourself that you're not enough, that you've missed your chance, or that things will never change. Stop those thoughts in their tracks. I am the God of truth, and my truth says you are more than a conqueror. I want you to put on the full armor of light, because your breakthrough is much closer than you realize. Think of this hour as the time when a soldier checks his gear before the victory march. I'm sanctifying your surroundings right now, creating a sacred tabernacle for my presence right where you are sitting. Whether you are in a car, a busy office, or a quiet bedroom, I am making that space holy. I am inviting you to listen for the whisper of my spirit. I don't usually shout, my child. I whisper because I am close, closer than your very breath. I am guiding you into all truth, showing you the shortcuts through the wilderness you've been wandering in. I see the way you've been trying to manage your life, but I am asking you to let me lead it instead. There is a difference between survival and revival. You have been in survival mode for too long, just trying to make it to Friday, just trying to pay the next bill. I'm inviting you into revival. I want you to use this hour to sanctify your mind. Think about the things that are good, pure, and lovely. I am washing away the grime of the world from your eyes so you can see the opportunities I am placing right in front of you. I am your Father, and I love to give good gifts to my children. But I need you to be ready to catch them. I am calling you to a higher level of focus. Do not let the enemy steal this hour from you with urgent distractions that don't actually matter. This is our time. This is the hour where the old version of you stays behind and the new version begins to emerge. I am with you in the preparation. I am with you in the quiet. I am with you in the work. I want you to feel the power of my presence wrapping around you like a warm blanket on a cold night. I am your shield and your protector. As you prepare your heart, I am already moving obstacles out of your way. I am dealing with the people who tried to block your progress. I am fixing the mistakes you made yesterday so they don't haunt your tomorrow. You don't have to be perfect to receive from me. You just have to be present. I am looking for a heart that is open and a spirit that is willing to trust me. I am inviting you to surrender your control. It's okay to not have all the answers. I have the answers, and I am the way. Walk with me through these final minutes of preparation. Feel the strength returning to your weary soul. You are not alone, and you are not forgotten. I have seen every tear and heard every sigh. This hour is my answer to your cries. I want you to remember how I have moved in the past, because I am the same God today. Think about my people standing at the edge of the Red Sea. They were trapped. They had mountains on both sides, the sea in front of them, and an angry army behind them. They felt like their time had run out. But I moved quickly. I didn't take weeks to build a bridge. I parted the waters in an instant. I am the God of the suddenly. I want you to expect that kind of speed in your own life today. You have been waiting for a long time, maybe years, for a specific change. You felt like you were standing in a long line that never moves. But I am telling you, I can do more in 1 hour of my favor than you could do in a decade of human labor. I want you to shift your expectation. Stop expecting more of the same struggle and start expecting the suddenness of my grace. I am never late, even when the world says the hour is late. I know your biological clock is ticking, where your bank account is dwindling, where the deadline is approaching. To the world, it looks like it's over. But I am the God who works best when the clock hits 0. I want you to trust that my timing is a perfect tapestry of mercy and power. If I had given you the blessing earlier, you might not have been ready to hold it. But now, you have been refined. You have been strengthened. I want you to stand firm right now because the walls of your personal Jericho are beginning to tremble. You've encircling those problems for a long time, wondering when they would finally fall. I am telling you, the ground is shaking. The barriers that have kept you out of your promised land are cracking under the weight of my glory. I invite you to witness how my favor changes everything. Have you ever seen a dry, cracked desert bloom after a sudden rain? That is what I am doing in your soul. I am pouring out a rain of grace that will cause things to grow overnight that usually take seasons. I am accelerating your healing. I am accelerating your promotion. I am accelerating your peace. You don't have to strive for this. You just have to receive it. I am your provider, and I am stepping into your circumstances with a power that ignores the laws of man. When people say it's impossible, I smile because I specialize in the impossible. I want you to look at your Red Sea today and see it not as a dead end, but as a path. I'm opening a way where there was no way. I am asking you to keep your eyes on me, not on the waves. The world is full of chaos and noise, but I am your steady point. I am the anchor that holds when the storm is at its worst. You might feel small, but you are backed by the host of heaven. I am commanding the elements to work in your favor. I am commanding the hearts of kings and bosses to move on your behalf. You are my beloved child, and I take great pleasure in blessing you. I want you to feel the excitement of my spirit rising within you. Something is happening. Something is shifting. This hour is not just another hour. It is the hour of my visitation. I am here to change your story. I am here to turn your weight into a witness. Trust my pace. Trust my heart. I am moving faster than you can imagine, and I am moving directly toward you. I am here to tell you that the season of stagnation is officially over. I am breaking the spiritual chains that have held you captive in a cycle of not quite yet. I see how frustrated you've been. You take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. You feel like you're running on a treadmill, working hard but going nowhere. I am commanding that spirit of delay to leave your life right now. I am casting out the spirit of procrastination and the feeling of being stuck. I am the God of the breakthrough, and I am unlocking the doors that have been bolted shut against you for years. You didn't have the key, but my unseen hand is turning the lock. I want you to understand that the delay you experienced was not a denial from me. It was a season where I was strengthening your roots. If I had let you grow tall without deep roots, the first storm would have knocked you over. But now you are ready. I am accelerating the harvest of the seeds you sowed in tears years ago. Do you remember the prayers you prayed when you were at your lowest? Do you remember the times you did the right thing even when it cost you everything? I haven't forgotten a single seed of faith you've planted. The ground might have looked dry and empty for a long time, but underneath the surface, I have been nourishing those seeds. I am bringing a harvest that will happen so fast it will make your head spin. I am doing a new thing, and it shall spring forth in this very hour. Can you perceive it? I am opening up streams in your wasteland. I am making a path through the thickest forest of your confusion. You are no longer behind schedule. You are exactly where I need you to be for the miracle to happen. I want you to stop comparing your timeline to everyone else's. You see people on social media who seem to be miles ahead of you, and it makes you feel like you failed. I am telling you, stop looking at them. Their journey is not yours. I have a custom-made plan for your life that is far better than anything you could copy from someone else. I am the master architect, and I don't make mistakes. If I held you back, it was to protect you from a trap you couldn't see. If I closed a door, it was because the room behind it was too small for your destiny. I am inviting you to trust my no as much as my yes. But in this hour, I am saying yes. I am saying go. I am saying now. Feel the chains falling off your wrists. Feel the heaviness leaving your heart. You are being liberated from the fear that you've wasted your life. Nothing is wasted in my hands. I can take your lost years and compress them into a season of such intense blessing that it will feel like you never lost a day. I am the God of restoration. I am commanding the atmosphere around you to change. I am clearing away the fog of someday and replacing it with the power of today. I want you to act like someone who is free. Walk like it. Speak like it. Think like it. I have already secured your victory. Now I just need you to walk into it. The door is open. Way is clear. The delay is done. Step forward into the new thing I am doing for you. I am bringing a peace to your mind right now that surpasses anything you can explain to others. You are living in a world that is screaming for your attention, trying to pull you into a dozen different directions at once. I see the mental fatigue you carry. I see the way your thoughts race when you lay your head on the pillow at night. I am commanding those storms of worry to be still. I am the Prince of Peace, and I am stepping into the center of your chaos. I want you to feel my hand upon your shoulder. Can you feel that? It is a steady, heavy weight of love that says, I've got you. I am steadying your trembling heart and quieting the noise of the world. You don't have to figure everything out today. I am silencing the accusatory voices that tell you nothing will ever change or that you've made too many mistakes to be helped. Those voices are liars. I want you to rest in the assurance that I am in total control of your circumstances. You feel like the steering wheel has come off and your life is careening off the road, but I am the one who governs the stars and the seasons. Nothing catches me by surprise. Your boss's decision didn't surprise me. The health report didn't surprise me. The betrayal you suffered didn't surprise me. I am already 3 steps ahead of every problem you face. I am inviting you to make this hour a sanctuary. Let my quietness become your strength. There is a specific kind of power that only comes from silence, from knowing that I am God and you are my child. I am your hiding place. I am the cleft in the rock where you can hide until the danger passes. I want you to breathe deeply and let go of the what-ifs. What if the money doesn't come? What if they leave? What if I fail? I am the answer to every what if. If the money doesn't come from one place, I will bring it from another. If they leave, I will bring someone better. If you fall, I will pick you up. I am your safety net. I am commanding your nervous system to calm down. I am healing the trauma that has kept you in a state of fight or flight for years. You can let your guard down with me. You don't have to be strong for me. My strength is made perfect in your weakness. I am your father, and I love to take care of you. I want you to feel the peace of a child who knows their parent is watching the door. You are safe. You are protected. You are deeply loved. This hour is a gift of rest. I am renewing your mind and refreshing your spirit. I am taking away the brain fog and the heaviness. I am giving you a heavenly perspective on your earthly problems. From where I sit, your problems look very small compared to my power. I want you to see them through my eyes. I am larger than your debt. I am larger than your disease. I am larger than your depression. I am inviting you to sink deep into my presence. Let the world fade away for a moment. This is our time to reconnect. This is where you get your strength back. I am your peace. I am your joy. I am your everything. Rest in me and watch how I handle the things you were so worried about. I am working while you are resting. I am moving while you are being still. Trust me. My child, do not turn away now, for we have only just begun to peel back the layers of your heavy heart. It would grieve my spirit to see you walk back into the noise of the world before I have finished pouring my peace into the parts of you that are still trembling. I have pulled back the curtain of time to meet you here, and it would be a missed appointment of eternal proportions if you left this sanctuary now. Stay with me, for the words I am about to speak are the very ones you have been groaning for in the dark of night. I am pouring out a fresh anointing upon your head right at this very second. I see the heavy cloak of sadness you've been wearing, the kind that makes it hard to even get out of bed in the morning. I know the source of your grief. I know about the dreams that died and the people you miss. I have bottled every single one of your tears. Not one hath been forgotten. But I am telling you today, I am transforming those tears into pearls of wisdom and praise. I am taking off that heavy spirit of mourning, and I am wrapping you in a garment of joy. This isn't a fake, temporary happiness that depends on your circumstances. This is my joy, a deep, unshakable strength that comes from knowing I am with you and I am for you. I am replacing your ashes with beauty. I am mending the broken pieces of your heart with a gold that makes you even more valuable than before you were broken. I want you to feel the heaviness leaving your chest, that weight you've been carrying, the one that feels like a lead vest. I am lifting it off of you. My yoke is easy and my burden is light. Why are you trying to carry the weight of the world when I have already carried the cross? I am commanding the spirit of heaviness to flee. I am restoring the laughter that the enemy tried to steal from you. Do you remember what it feels like to laugh from your belly? Do you remember the light in your eyes before life got so hard? I am bringing that back. I am the God of restoration, and I am restoring your personality, your passion, and your spark. Your mourning has reached its expiration date. This hour marks the end of that dark season and the beginning of a season of light. I invite you to dance in your spirit, even if you don't feel like it yet. Faith is acting on my word before you see the evidence. I am telling you that your victory is here, so start celebrating. I'm turning your mourning into dancing. I am turning your sorrow into a song. I am anointing you with the oil of joy. This oil will make you resilient. It will make the attacks of the enemy slide right off of you. It will make you shine in dark places. People will look at you and wonder how you can have such peace and joy after everything you've been through. You will tell them, it's not me, it's my Father. I am making you a walking testimony of my goodness. I am using your pain to create a platform for my glory. I want you to receive the beauty of my presence right now. Let it wash over you like a warm rain. I am erasing the marks that trauma left on your soul. I am healing the memories that make you flinch. I am giving you a reason to hope again. The enemy thought he had you. He thought the grief would finish you off. But he didn't know who your Father was. I am the God who brings life out of death. I am the God who brings joy out of the graveyard. I am breathing new life into your spirit. Can you feel the breath of my spirit moving in your lungs? You are coming back to life. You are waking up. The night is over, and the sun is rising on a brand new day in your soul. I love you with an everlasting love, and I am filling you with my joy until your cup runs over. I am opening the windows of heaven over your life right now, and I want you to prepare your heart to receive a supply that defies human logic. You have spent so many nights staring at the ceiling, doing math in your head, trying to figure out how to stretch a little into a lot. I see the anxiety that hits you when you open your mailbox or check your bank balance. I see the way you feel small when you can't provide the way you want to for those you love. But I am the Jehovah Jireh, the God who provides, and I am not limited by the economy of this world, the decisions of a boss, or the balance in your account. I am commanding resources that you did not even seek to find their way to your door within this very hour. I am moving the hearts of people you haven't even met to favor you. I am causing debts to be canceled and unexpected checks to arrive. I want you to stop looking at the narrow path as a place of lack. It is a place of dependence, and because you depend on me, you will never be truly empty. I want you to trust me with the fish and the loaves of your life. You look at what you have and you say, "It's not enough to cover the mountain of need in front of me." But when you put that not enough into my hands, I touch it with my blessing and it multiplies. I am the God who provided manna in the desert, where there were no grocery stores, and I provided water from a rock when there were no wells. I am doing the same for you. I am ending the drought in your finances and your resources. Can you hear it? There is a sound of an abundance of rain in the Spirit. The dry, cracked ground of your life is about to be saturated. I am leading you to a place where your cup doesn't just meet the rim, but it runs over, leaving a trail of blessing for every person you encounter. I am making you a river of provision, not a stagnant pond. I command you to release the poverty mindset that tells you there will never be enough. That mindset is a chain that keeps you from seeing the feast I have prepared for you. I want you to start acting like a child of the King. You don't have to beg for crumbs. You have a seat at the table. I am teaching you how to be a steward of the much I am about to give you. I am opening doors for new streams of income, giving you ideas for businesses, and granting you the wisdom to manage what you have with excellence. Trust me when I tell you that I am more than capable of handling your mortgage, your tuition, and your grocery list. I am your Father, and it is my good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Breathe out that financial fear and breathe in my sovereignty. I have never failed to feed the birds of the air, and you are worth so much more than they are. I am the great physician, and I am walking through the rooms of your life right now with healing in my wings. I want you to feel my presence moving through your physical body and your emotional heart. I know about the chronic pain that makes you feel older than you are. I see the way you tried to hide your fatigue and the way you started to believe that you will always feel this way. But I am the one who designed every cell in your body, and I am commanding them to align with my creative blueprint right now. I am the God who spoke the stars into existence. Do you think a disease or a diagnosis is too hard for me? I am pouring my life-giving spirit into your weary bones and your tired muscles. I am renewing your youth like the eagles. Receive the wholeness that was paid for with every stripe I took on my back. I am also reaching deeper than the physical. I am healing the hidden wounds of your soul. I see the scars left by rejection, the pain from your childhood that you tried to bury, and the trauma that still makes you feel unsafe. I am touching those places that you don't even have words for. I am the balm of Gilead, and I am soothing the inflammation of your heart. I am removing the stinger from the memories that used to make you cry. I am healing your mind from the depression that feels like a heavy fog and the anxiety that feels like a constant vibration. You are being restored. I am not just patching you up, I am making you new. Your recovery is not going to be a slow, painful crawl. It is going to be a testimony of my enduring faithfulness. People will look at you and see a light in your eyes that was gone for a long time. I want you to take a deep breath and literally feel the tension leaving your body. I am commanding the fight or flight response in your nervous system to shut down. You are safe in my presence. I am your sanctuary. I am removing the bitterness that has acted like a poison in your system, for I know that an unforgiving heart can make a body sick. I am giving you the grace to let go of the people who hurt you, so that your healing can be complete. This is the hour of your visitation. I am walking through your house, touching your bed, touching your chair, and sanctifying the air you breathe. You are an heir to the promise of health and peace. Stand up in your spirit. Stretch out your hand to me. I am pulling you out of the infirmity and into the light. You are whole. You are healed. You are mine. I am granting you a divine discernment in this hour that will allow you to see through every deception the enemy has placed in your path. You have been facing some complex problems lately, situations that feel like a tangled knot you can't untie. You've asked for advice, you've searched for answers, and you've worried yourself to sleep. But I am the source of all wisdom, and I am speaking secrets to your spirit that the wise of this world completely miss. Within the next hour, I am going to drop a simple solution into your mind that will solve a year-long problem. I am the one who gives the light bulb moments. I am illuminating your path with a lamp of my word, showing you exactly where to step and where to avoid the traps. I want you to stop leaning on your own understanding. Your perspective is limited to what you can see with your physical eyes, but I see the end from the beginning. I am giving you heavenly intelligence for your earthly tasks. When you stand before people of influence, or when you have to face those who oppose you, do not worry about what to say. I am placing my words in your mouth. I am giving you a boldness and a clarity that will cause others to take notice. They will wonder where your confidence comes from, and you will know it is because you have been in the secret place with me. I am removing the confusion that has made you feel paralyzed. I am not the author of confusion. I am the giver of peace and a sound mind. I invite you to sit in the quietness of my presence and just listen. You don't always have to be the one talking. I have strategies for your family, your career, and your ministry that I am waiting to reveal to you. I am showing you who to trust and who to distance yourself from. I am giving you the eyes of an eagle to see things from a higher level. When you see your life from my perspective, the giants don't look so big anymore. The obstacles look like stepping stones. I am pouring out my wisdom liberally upon you because you asked in faith. You are becoming a person of deep insight. You will be a source of counsel for others because the Spirit of truth dwells within you. Trust the nudges I give you. Trust the still, small voice that says, "This is the way, walk in it." I am your guide, and I will never lead you astray. I am your fortress and your high tower, and I want you to know that you are completely safe in my care. I see the headlines, I hear the threats, and I know the world feels like a dangerous place right now. But I am telling you, no weapon formed against you shall find its mark or prosper. I am taking my station around your home this very hour. My angels are standing guard at your doors and your windows. I am hiding you in the hollow of my hand, far above the reach of the enemy's arrows. You do not need to fear the terror of the night or the pestilence that stalks in the darkness. I am the light that never flickers, and I am surrounding you with a wall of fire that nothing evil can penetrate. Your coming and going are covered by my blood and my promise. I want you to release the fear of what might happen. Fear is a liar that tries to steal your present peace by painting a dark picture of your future. I am the one who holds your future, and I am telling you that it is bright. I am protecting your reputation from the tongues of those who speak lies. I am protecting your children when they are out of your sight. I am protecting your mind from the intrusive thoughts that try to steal your joy. You are under the shadow of the wings of the Almighty. When the storm rages outside, you can sleep in the boat because I am with you. I am the one who says, "Peace, be still," to the winds that threaten your life. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a child of the Most High God, and you carry my authority. I command the spirit of fear to leave your presence right now. It has no place in a heart that is filled with my love. I am giving you a spirit of power and a sound mind. I want you to walk with your head held high, knowing that the Creator of the universe is your personal bodyguard. If I am for you, who can be against you? I am thwarting the plans of the enemy before they even reach your doorstep. I am causing your adversaries to stumble on the very traps they set for you. You will witness my protection in the small things and the big things. Whether it is a car accident avoided or a business deal that would have ruined you, I am working behind the scenes to keep you safe. Rest in the assurance that I am a wall of protection around everything you hold dear. I am your shield. I am your strength. I am your salvation. I am watching you, and I see the temptation to let your focus flicker toward the distractions that seek to steal your harvest. Do not disappoint my heart by treating this sacred visitation as a common thing. I have hushed the heavens just to speak to you. If you stop listening now, you leave the work of my hands unfinished and the protection I am building around you incomplete. Hold fast to my presence for a little while longer, because the revelation I have prepared for the next moment is the key to the lock you've been struggling to turn. I have placed my wall of fire around you, but I am also calling you to be a torchbearer for those still wandering in the suffocating darkness. You have found safety in the shadow of my wings, and now I invite you to help me build a fortress of hope for a world that is under heavy siege. Your heart is stirred because I am whispering to you that your provision is a river meant to flow, not a stagnant pond that keeps its blessings to itself. By sowing a seed of support through the super thanks, with a link in the description, you are putting a sword of truth into the hands of the weary and the lost. I declare that as you honor me with your substance, I will rebuke the devourer for your sake and open windows of heaven you cannot contain. Your generosity in this hour is a divine appointment that triggers a harvest of protection over your own household. Do not withhold the good that is in your hand when I have given you the power to act. I command you to step forward now and fuel this mission of light with a spirit of boldness. I am the God who restores what the locusts have eaten away, and I am beginning that work in your life this very hour. You look back at your past and you see wasted time. You see years lost to addiction, years lost to a bad relationship, or years lost to a job that drained your soul. You feel like you are behind, like you can never catch up to where you should be. But I am the Lord of time, and I am telling you that I am returning the years to you. I am compressing time so that your future will be so glorious it will make the past feel like a distant, fading dream. I am mending the broken pieces of your history and turning them into a masterpiece of grace. Nothing is ever truly wasted in my kingdom. I use even the fragments of your failures to build the foundation of your miracle. I am returning the love you thought you lost and the opportunities you thought had passed you by forever. I am the God of the second chance, and the third, and the fourth. I am opening doors that you thought were permanently locked because of your past mistakes. I am erasing the shame that makes you want to hide. I am putting a new robe on your back and a new ring on your finger. Your family is being restored. I am softening hearts and bridging gaps that have existed for decades. The pieces of your heart that were shattered are being gathered by my loving hands. I am making you more whole than you were before the breaking. I am the God of the new thing, and I am doing it right now. I want you to stop mourning over what could have been. If you keep looking in the rearview mirror, you will crash the vehicle of your future. I am calling you to look forward. I am making your later days better than your former days. I am giving you a double portion for your trouble. Where you had shame, you shall have honor. Where you had lack, you shall have abundance. I am the God who brings life back to dry bones. I am breathing on the dreams you gave up on. I am reviving the passions you thought were dead. I am the God of the resurrection, and I am resurrecting your purpose. This hour is the beginning of your restoration era. Trust me to finish the work I have started. I'm making all things new, and that includes you. Your best days are not behind you. They are standing right in front of you, waiting for you to walk through the door. I want you to realize that in this very hour, you are not standing alone. I am hearing the prayers of the saints on your behalf, a vast chorus of voices rising to my throne like sweet incense. You often feel like you are fighting a solitary battle, tucked away in your room or driving in your car, thinking that no one knows the weight of your burden. But I have orchestrated a spiritual network of intercession around you. There are people you have never met and friends you haven't spoken to in years, whom I am nudging to pray for you right now. I am translating your groans, those deep, heavy sighs that come when you have no words left, into the language of heaven. Your silent tears are not just moisture on a pillow. They are powerful petitions that move my heart. I am connecting you with a cloud of witnesses, those who have gone before you, and those standing beside you, who are cheering you on in this race. I am inviting you to step into the power of agreement. When you unite your spirit with mine, and when you connect with others in faith, you create a force that breaks the strongest chains of the enemy. I see the strongholds that have tried to wrap themselves around your family and your future. I see the patterns of dysfunction and the cycles of lack that have haunted your bloodline. But I am telling you, the power of unity is shattering those iron bars right now. As you listen to my voice and agree with my promises, those old walls are coming down. I am also calling you to look beyond your own needs for a moment. I command you to pray for someone else who is hurting. It might feel counterintuitive when you are in so much pain, but I am telling you a divine secret. As you pray for others, your own chains will begin to fall off. The act of reaching out in love releases a level of my glory that self-focus can never reach. I want you to feel the cords of my infinite love binding you to my heart and to the body of believers. We are one in the Spirit. You are a vital part of a grand design, a living stone in a temple of grace. Do not let the enemy isolate you. He wants you to believe that you are an outcast or a burden, but I see you as a treasure. I am bringing people into your life in this next hour and the days to follow who will speak life into your weary soul. I am arranging divine connections, mentors, friends, and partners who will carry the flame of faith when yours feels like it's flickering out. You are part of a royal priesthood, a chosen generation. Your struggle is not just yours. It is a platform for a collective victory. I am strengthening the bonds of your relationships that have been strained by stress and misunderstanding. I am pouring out a spirit of reconciliation. I want you to invite my presence into your conversations today. Let my love be the filter for every word you speak. When you walk in unity, you walk in a place of commanded blessing. I am opening your eyes to the beauty of the community I have placed around you. Even in the digital spaces where you find my word, there is a unity of spirit that transcends distance. You are heard. You are seen. You are supported. I'm moving through the prayers of others to bring you the breakthrough you've been seeking. Trust the process of intercession. Believe that heaven is active on your behalf. You are covered by the blood, empowered by the Spirit, and surrounded by a family that loves you. I am looking at the obstacles in your life right now, and I want you to see them through my eyes. You see a mountain that is blocking your path. I see a stepping stone that is going to take you to a higher calling. You see a valley of shadows. I see a fertile ground where I am growing your character. I am the God who specializes in the great exchange. I take the very things the enemy meant for your destruction, and I repurpose them for your promotion. Every trial you have endured, the betrayals, the financial losses, the health scares, is being woven into a tapestry of triumph. I am not a God who wastes pain. I am a God who refines it. The fire you are walking through right now is intense, I know. I can feel the heat with you. But I am telling you, it will not burn you. It will only consume the dross, the fear, and the insecurities that have held you back. You will emerge from this furnace smelling like grace and shining like pure gold. I am using your current struggle to develop an unbreakable faith within you. You don't build muscle by sitting in a comfortable chair. You build it by lifting weight. The weight you are carrying right now is building spiritual muscle that will sustain you in the massive destiny I have prepared for you. I am reminding you today that you are more than a conqueror through me. A conqueror merely wins a battle, but someone who is more than a conqueror takes the spoils of the enemy and uses them to build a kingdom. That is what I am doing with you. I am giving you the authority to take your darkest moments and turn them into a manual for someone else's rescue. Your story is going to be the light that leads another person out of their own darkness. I am turning your greatest weakness into my greatest display of power. I command you to stop apologizing for your scars. Those scars are not marks of shame. They are medals of honor. They prove that you survived what was meant to kill you. They prove that my grace is sufficient for you. I want you to embrace the struggle, knowing that it has an expiration date. I am bringing you into a season where the trial becomes the testimony. You will look back on this hour and realize that it was the moment you stopped being a victim and started being a victor. I am shifting your identity from wounded to warrior. I am giving you a new name and a new song. You are not going to just get through this. You are going to thrive because of it. I am the God of the comeback. I love taking the underdog and making them the champion. I invite you to surrender your frustration to me. I know it feels unfair. I know it feels like you've been targeted. But remember, the enemy only attacks what he fears. He sees the potential I have placed in you, and he is trying to stop you before you realize who you truly are. But I am the one who goes before you. I am your rear guard. I am frustrating the plans of the wicked and making a way for your triumph. Within this hour, I am giving you a second wind. I am refreshing your spirit so you can finish this season strong. The finish line is in sight, and the reward is greater than the cost. Trust me to turn the tide. I am the master of the turnaround. Your trial is just the setup for the most incredible miracle of your life. Stand tall, my beloved. Your triumph is inevitable because I am with you. I am reaching out right now to take the scales off your eyes so that you may see your life with perfect clarity. You have been walking through a thick fog of confusion lately, haven't you? You've been asking, what should I do? And which way should I turn? Until your mind feels like a tangled web. You've been paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong decision, worried that one misstep will ruin everything. But I am telling you, I am not the author of confusion. I am the giver of peace and a sound mind. I am breathing a fresh wind into your spirit that is blowing away the mist and the shadows. Step by step, I am revealing the path ahead of you. You don't need to see the whole map. You just need to see the next step, and I am shining my light directly on it. I am renewing your mind by the power of my living water. Think of it as a cool, clear stream washing over your brain, removing the debris of overthinking and the dust of worldly opinions. The doubts that have been whispering in your ear, telling you that you're lost or that you've missed my will, are vanishing like morning mist before a rising sun. I'm giving you a divine knowing. You will find that suddenly, you just know what to do. The answer that was hiding from you will become obvious. I am giving you discernment to see people as they truly are and situations as they truly stand. You will no longer be deceived by the surface level of things. I am giving you spiritual X-ray vision to see the heart of the matter. I command the spirit of indecision to leave you now. You were not created to live in a state of maybe. You were created to walk in purpose and conviction. I want you to trust the still, small voice within you. That is my spirit, guiding you into all truth. When I speak your name, you will recognize my voice above all the noise of the world. You will know exactly which way to turn. I am also clearing the confusion in your relationships. I am showing you who is for you and who is just with you. I am giving you clarity on your career, your health, and your family. The fog of the enemy's lies is being burned away by the heat of my presence. You are entering a season of high visibility. You will see the traps before you step in them, and you will see the blessings before they even arrive. I invite you to stop seeking answers from everyone else and start seeking them from me. I have the inside information on your life because I am the one who created it. When you spend time in my presence, my clarity rubs off on you. I am making your thoughts orderly and your path straight. I am removing the mental fatigue that comes from trying to solve spiritual problems with human logic. Logic will only take you so far, but my spirit will take you into the miraculous. Breathe in my clarity right now. Feel your mind becoming calm and sharp. You are not confused, you are just in transition. And I am leading you through the transition with a steady hand. You are going to make the right choice. You are going to move in the right direction. I am your compass, and I am pointing you toward home. I am touching your spirit right now and replacing every ounce of timidity and hesitation with the courage of a lion. I see how you have shrunk back in the past. I see how you have stayed quiet when you should have spoken, and how you have played small because you didn't want to make others uncomfortable. But those days are over. I am calling you out of the shadows and onto the front lines. You are a child of the King of Kings, and it is time you started carrying yourself like royalty. I am giving you a spiritual boldness that is rooted in my love, not in your own ego. This is a confidence that doesn't need to shout to be heard, because it carries the weight of my glory into every room you enter. When you walk into a space, the atmosphere changes because I am in you. I am giving you the authority to tread upon the serpents and scorpions of this life, the lies, the addictions, and the spiritual attacks that have tried to trip you up. I am putting a holy fire in your bones that makes you unshakable. When you speak the truth, you will speak it with a power that cuts through the darkness. You don't have to be ashamed of the gospel or the work I am doing in you. I am making you a bold witness of my grace. I am giving you the words to speak to the giants in your life, the people or circumstances that have tried to intimidate you. You will look them in the eye and realize they are nothing compared to the God who stands behind you. I am the one who goes before you, and I have already cleared the way. I command the spirit of people pleasing to break off your life. You do not live for the applause of man. You live for the well done of your Father. I am releasing you from the prison of what will they think. Their opinions cannot bless you, and their criticisms cannot curse you because you are already blessed by me. I am giving you a lion-hearted faith that is willing to take risks. I am inviting you to step out onto the water with me. It might feel scary, but I am holding your hand. I am calling you to lead, to create, to speak, and to build. Do not shrink back. The world needs the light that I have placed inside of you. You were born for such a time as this. I want you to feel the strength rising in your spine. Stand tall. Lift your chin. You are a warrior in my kingdom. I am arming you with a belt of truth and the sword of the Spirit. You are no longer the one being hunted. You are the one on the offensive. I am giving you the boldness to pray for the sick and see them recovered, to speak to mountains and see them move, and to declare my promises over your life until they become reality. You carry my name, and that name is above every other name. Walk into this next hour with a new sense of mission. You are not just surviving. You are occupying the territory I have given you. Be bold, my child. Be very courageous. I am with you wherever you go. Hear my heartbeat, my beloved, and do not let the enemy convince you that you have heard enough. It would weigh heavy on my soul to see you settle for a partial blessing when I am standing here with the fullness of your destiny in my hands. You are standing on the very threshold of your greatest breakthrough, and to walk away now would be to turn your back on the fire that is meant to refine your future. Stay in this flow. I am about to reveal secrets to your spirit that will ensure you never have to walk in fear again. I am teaching your hands to profit and your heart to give, for I am the God of the breakthrough and the God of the harvest. I have seen the cycle of debt and lack that has tried to suffocate your potential. I have heard the checks and balances you play in your head every night, wondering how you will make ends meet. But I am issuing a divine decree over your finances right now. The cycle of lack is broken. I am the one who provides the seed for the sower and bread for the food. I am showing you where to cast your net for a miraculous catch. You have been fishing in the same old spots, using the same old methods, and coming up empty. But I am giving you heavenly strategies for your wealth. I am giving you ideas that will produce resources you never dreamed of. I want you to be a faithful steward of the little, because I am preparing to trust you with much. My kingdom economy doesn't operate like the world's. In the world, you get by taking. In my kingdom, you get by giving. I am removing the bitter root of greed and the paralyzing fear of not enough from your heart. When you trust me with your first fruits, you open a portal of blessing that no man can shut. I am teaching you how to manage your resources with wisdom and excellence. I am bringing an unexpected blessing to you within this hour. Perhaps an old account that gets settled, a rebate you didn't expect, or a sudden opportunity for overtime. These are not accidents. They are signs of my favor. I am your Jehovah Jireh, and I take care of my own. I command the devourer to stay away from your harvest. I am protecting what you have worked for. I am stopping the unforeseen expenses that always seem to pop up just when you get ahead. I am giving you the discipline to save and the heart to be generous. I want you to be so blessed that you can be a blessing to everyone around you. I am raising you up to be a kingdom financier, someone who funds the work of the gospel and helps the poor. Your wealth is not just for your comfort, it is for my cause. And as you seek first my kingdom, all these things will be added to you. You will no longer live in the red. You will live in the overflow. I invite you to release your financial anxiety to me right now. I have the gold and the silver on 1,000 hills. I am not broke, and neither are you, because you are an heir to my riches. I am shifting the atmosphere around your work life. I am giving you favor with your superiors and success in your ventures. Expect an acceleration in your income. I am removing the ceiling that has limited your growth. There is no limit to what I can do through a heart that is surrendered and a hand that is open. Trust me with your bills. Trust me with your future. I am opening the storehouses of heaven for you. The drought is over. The abundance is here. Walk in the confidence of my pavilion. I am reaching into the deep, quiet places of your heart right now to bring healing to the relationships that have caused you so much pain. I see the empty chairs at your table and the silence on the other end of the phone that weighs on your soul like a heavy shroud. I know the history of every argument, every misunderstanding, and every betrayal that has built walls between you and the ones you love. But I am the God of reconciliation, and I am softening hearts that have been hardened by years of pride and resentment. I am beginning a work of restoration in your family and your friendships that will defy human logic. I am placing words of peace and reconciliation upon your tongue even now. I want you to let my love be the glue that binds back together what the world, the enemy, and your own mistakes have torn apart. Forgiveness is not a feeling. It is the key that I am placing in your hand today to unlock the door to your own freedom. I want you to understand that I am a God of second chances and brand new beginnings. You might think a relationship is dead and buried, but I am the God of the resurrection. I am bridging the gap between parents and children, between spouses who have grown cold, and between friends who were separated by a lie. I am removing the bitter root of being right and replacing it with the desire to be in relationship. I am giving you the courage to be the first one to reach out, to be the one who offers the olive branch without waiting for an apology first. When you move in my love, you release a power that melts the iciest of hearts. I am working on the other side of the situation while I am working on you. I am dealing with the person who hurt you, convicting them and preparing them for a moment of healing that will take place in my perfect timing. I command the spirit of discord and division to leave your home. Your household shall be a sanctuary of peace, not a battlefield of words. I am flushing out the poison of old memories that keep you trapped in the past. You do not have to keep replaying the scenes of how they let you down. I am giving you a divine amnesia for the wrongs of others so that you can move forward into a healthy future. I am teaching you how to set boundaries with love and how to speak the truth without a sharp edge. I want you to feel the warmth of my presence filling your home, creating an atmosphere where it is safe to be vulnerable and safe to be real. I am your father, and I love to see my children walking in unity. I invite you to surrender your need for justice to me. I am the righteous judge, and I will handle the accounts. Your job is to love as I have loved you, unconditionally, extravagantly, and without keeping score. I am giving you a fresh perspective on the people who have frustrated you. I am showing you their wounds and their fears, helping you to see that hurting people usually hurt people. As you receive my compassion for yourself, let it overflow onto them. This hour is a turning point for your family tree. I am breaking generational curses of divorce, estrangement, and silence. I am starting a new legacy of love through you. Trust me with the hearts you cannot reach. I am the heart shaper, and I am doing a work that will last for eternity. I am building a foundation within you right now that is strong enough to support the massive calling I have placed on your life. You often focus on the outer things, the career, the reputation, the appearance, but I am looking at your inner man. I am building a character in you that is as solid as a rock. I want you to realize that the hidden time you spend with me is the most productive time of your day. It is in the secret place that I feed your spirit with the hidden manna of my presence, giving you a strength that doesn't come from motivation but from revelation. I am refining your desires so that they align with my perfect and holy will. I am teaching you that true power is found in surrender and true wealth is found in my peace. Endurance is being forged in the furnace of your daily devotion, making you a person who doesn't fold when the pressure increases. I want you to understand that my strength is made perfect in every area where you feel weak. You often try to hide your vulnerabilities, but I want you to bring them to me. Your weakness is the canvas where I paint my greatest displays of power. I am removing the crutches you have leaned on, the habits, the people, and the mindsets that have kept you from walking fully in my spirit. I am teaching you how to stand on your own 2 feet, anchored in the truth of who you are in me. You are growing from glory to glory, reflecting my image more clearly every day. I am taking away the spiritual fatigue that comes from trying to live the Christian life in your own strength. It's not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit. I am giving you a second wind for your soul. I command your spirit to rise up and take its rightful place as the leader of your soul and body. You were not meant to be a slave to your emotions or your physical cravings. I am giving you the self-control and the discipline to pursue the things that truly matter. I am sharpening your spiritual ears so you can hear my instructions in the middle of a noisy world. I am giving you a holy hunger for my word that will satisfy you more than any worldly success ever could. I am the one who strengthens your heart when it is faint. I am the one who gives you the staying power to finish what you started. You are not a quitter. You are a finisher, because the great finisher lives inside of you. I invite you to go deeper with me. You not be satisfied with the shallows of a routine faith. I have oceans of love and mountains of wisdom that I want to share with you. This hour is an invitation to intimacy. As you strengthen your inner man, you will find that the storms of life have less and less power over you. You will become like a house built on the rock. The rain may fall and the floods may come, but you will not be moved. I am your anchor, and I am pulling you closer to the core of my being. Feel the resilience growing in your spirit. Feel the confidence that comes from knowing you are deeply rooted and grounded in my love. You are becoming a pillar in my house, a person of weight and substance. Walk in that strength today. I am setting a divine guard over your mouth in this hour, for I want you to understand the immense power that your words carry. You were created in my image, and just as I spoke the world into existence, your words create the world you live in. I see how you have used your tongue to describe your problems rather than to declare my solutions. I hear the death you have spoken over your finances, your health, and your future through complaining and doubt. But I am changing your vocabulary today. I am teaching you how to speak life and not death. I am giving your declarations a weight of spiritual reality that will cause things to shift in the physical realm. When you speak my word, the heavens listen and the earth must respond. I command you to speak to your mountain right now. Stop talking to me about the mountain and start talking to the mountain in my name. Tell the dead it has to go. Tell sickness it has no right to your body. Tell the depression that it is a liar and it must flee. Your praise is a weapon that defeats the armies of the aliens. When you worship me in the middle of a struggle, you confuse the enemy and you release a fragrance that attracts my favor. I am removing the bitter root of complaining from your heart, for a complaining spirit is a magnet for more trouble. I am replacing it with a spirit of thanksgiving that opens the gates of heaven. Let your speech be seasoned with salt, bringing grace and life to everyone who hears you. I want you to be intentional with every sentence you utter today. Your words are seeds. If you plant I can't, you will harvest failure. If you plant I am more than a conqueror, you will harvest victory. I am giving you a prophetic tongue to speak things that are not as though they were. Speak over your children that they are blessed and highly favored. Speak over your job that you have the mind of Christ and excellence in your hands. I am removing the sarcasm and the bitterness that have flavored your speech, for those things only poison the well of your soul. I want your mouth to be a fountain of living water, refreshing everyone you encounter. I invite you to make a covenant with your lips. Ask me to help you hold your tongue when you are angry and to speak up when you see injustice. I am giving you the tongue of the learned, so that you know how to speak a word in season to him who is weary. Your words have the power to heal or to hurt, to build up or to tear down. Choose life. Within this very hour, as you begin to change what you say, you will feel a shift in how you feel. Your atmosphere is shaped by your affirmations. Declare my promises as if they are already done, because in my realm, they are. I am the amen to your faith. Speak with authority. Speak with love. Speak with the certainty that I am backing every word that aligns with my heart. I am pulling back the veil right now to remind you of the dreams and the purpose I planted in your soul before you were even born. You are not an accident, and your life is not a series of random events. You are a carefully designed masterpiece, created for a specific mission that only you can fulfill. I see the heavenly perspective that I am beginning to give you on your earthly tasks. You felt like you were just marking time or working for a paycheck, but I am showing you the eternal significance of what you do. Whether you are raising a child, running a business, or serving your community, you are an ambassador of my kingdom. I am calling you out of the shadows of just getting by and into the marvelous light of my destiny for you. I want you to seek first my kingdom, and you will find that your purpose unfolds naturally, like a flower blooming in the sun. You don't have to make it happen in your own strength. You just have to be available for me to work through you. I am reminding you of the passions you had as a child, the things that made your heart beat faster before the world told you to be practical. I am reviving those dreams. I am giving you a vision for your life that is bigger than your comfort zone. I am calling you to do the greater works that I promised. You have a unique flavor and a unique sound that the world needs. Don't try to be a copy of someone else. I already have one of them. I want the real you. I command the spirit of purposelessness and aimlessness to leave you. You are not a piece of driftwood in the ocean. You are a ship with a captain and a destination. I am giving you a holy ambition to make a difference in my name. I am opening your eyes to the needs around you that you are uniquely qualified to meet. I am giving you a map for the next season of your life. It may not have all the details, but it has the direction. I want you to walk with a sense of mission in everything you do today. Every conversation is an opportunity. Every challenge is a test of your calling. You are part of a grand narrative, a story of redemption that I am writing through your life. I invite you to dream big with me. My resources are infinite, and my power is limitless. Why are you asking for crumbs when I own the bakery? I want you to see yourself as I see you, as a world changer, a history maker, and a beloved child with a royal inheritance. I am giving you the boldness to step into the new thing I am doing. This hour is a recommissioning service for your soul. I am anointing you for your purpose. I am giving you the tools, the connections, and the wisdom you need. Don't be afraid of the bigness of the vision. Be afraid of the smallness of a life without me. Step into the light. Your purpose is calling, and I am the one walking beside you every step of the way. We are in the final moments of this divine encounter, and I urge you not to let your spirit grow weary or your ears become dull. My heart yearns to finish the restoration I have started in you, and it would be a sorrowful thing for you to step back into your old life just as the new one is taking root. You have come too far to retreat into the shadows of what used to be. Lean in closer, listen with an expectant soul, and do not abandon this holy ground until the very last drop of my oil has been poured over your head. You have seen the blueprint of your purpose, and now I am calling you to invest in the building of my eternal kingdom. I have awakened the dormant dreams in your soul, but remember that the oil of my anointing is poured out so that you may light the way for others who have lost their path. There are souls crying out for the very manna you have received today, and your support is the bridge that carries my word to their dry and thirsty land. When you give through membership or the PayPal link below, you are not just making a donation. You are planting a seed in the fertile soil of destiny. I promise that your bread cast upon these waters will return to you as a tidal wave of favor and supernatural increase. I see your desire to be a blessing, and I tell you that what you make happen for my word, I will make happen for your life. The fields are white and the time is short, so align your resources with my heavenly vision this very moment. I command you to give with a cheerful and expectant heart, for your reward is great in my sight. I am the Lord of the harvest, and I am telling you that the fields of your life are white and ready for reaping right now. You have been in a long season of plowing and planting, and I know you are tired. I have seen you sowing seeds in the middle of a drought, crying as you put your faith into the ground, wondering if anything would ever grow. But I am the one who aligns the sun and the rain, and I am telling you, your hour of reward has arrived. Do not grow weary in well-doing, for in this very season you shall reap if you do not lose heart. This is not a natural harvest, it is a sovereign harvest. You will gather what you did not even plant because of my favor. The reaper is overtaking the plowman in your life. I am accelerating the growth of your dreams. I am making the sun of righteousness shine on your labor, and I am pouring out the latter rain of my spirit. You will see things come to fruition in days that normally take years. I am the God of the sudden abundance. I want you to celebrate the fruit of your hands before you even see it with your physical eyes. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. I am calling the angels of the harvest to move through your life this hour, pulling up the weeds of the enemy and protecting the good grain I have grown in you. You are entering a bountiful season where every area of your life, your health, your peace, your family, and your finances will show the evidence of my blessing. I command the locusts and the cankerworms that have tried to eat your harvest to be destroyed. I am protecting the fruit of your labor. You will not build and another inhabit. You will not plant and another eat. You will enjoy the work of your hands. I am giving you the strength to bring in the sheaves. I am giving you the wisdom to store your harvest and the generosity to share it. I want you to realize that this harvest is not just for you. It is to prove my faithfulness to a watching world. People will see the crop of your life, and they will have to admit that I am with you. I am the God who rewards those who diligently seek Him. You have sought me, and now I am rewarding you openly. I invite you to rest in my timing. You cannot rush a harvest, but you can certainly miss it if you aren't paying attention. Stay alert. Keep your eyes on me. I am showing you when to pull the net and when to cut the grain. My timing is perfect. I am not early, and I am not late. I am exactly on time for your breakthrough. I am removing the anxiety of the wait and replacing it with the joy of the anticipation. This hour is a holy threshold. You are stepping out of the struggle and into the surplus. Breathe in the scent of the harvest. It is in the air. It is in your spirit. It is in my promise. You are blessed, and you are a blessing. The harvest is here. I am inviting you right now to a higher way of living, a path where you are no longer a slave to the whims of your emotions or the heavy demands of your physical senses. I want you to tune your ears to the frequency of heaven, for I am constantly broadcasting my love, my direction, and my secrets to you. You often live as if the physical world, the bills, the aches in your body, the traffic, the deadlines, is the only reality. But I am telling you, there is a deeper realm, and I am calling you to walk in it. I am teaching you how to crucify the distractions of the flesh, those loud, demanding voices that tell you to worry, to lose your temper, or to seek comfort in things that only leave you feeling more empty. When you walk in my spirit, you find a power that allows you to remain calm when everyone else is panicking. You find a joy that doesn't need a reason. I am the wind in your sails, moving you toward your destiny with a force that you don't have to generate on your own. I want you to realize that you are no longer a slave to the patterns of your past or the sins that used to trip you up so easily. I have broken those chains. You are a servant of righteousness now and a child of light. I am causing the fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control to bloom in the garden of your soul. This isn't something you can try to do. It is something that happens naturally when you stay connected to me, the vine. I am the source of your life force. When you wake up in the morning, don't just reach for your phone, reach for me. Walk with me in the cool of the day, just as I walked with Adam in the beginning. I want to share my thoughts with you. I want to show you how I see the people you will encounter today. I want to give you my heart for the broken and my eyes for the overlooked. I command the noise of your flesh to be quieted. The cravings for validation, the hunger for control, and the thirst for revenge. I am washing those away with my living water. I am giving you a new appetite for things that are eternal. you will find that the things of this world start to grow strangely dim in the light of my glory and grace. I am giving you the strength to say no to the things that drain your spirit and yes to the things that build your faith. I am making you a person of deep spiritual intuition. You will feel a check in your spirit when something isn't right, and you will feel a green light of peace when you are on the right track. This is what it means to be led by me. It is a life of adventure, a life of supernatural flow, where you are always in the right place at the right time. I invite you to surrender your to-do list to my spirit today. Ask me, Father, what are we doing today? And listen for my response. I might lead you to a different route to work, or I might put a person on your heart to call. When you follow these nudges, you are walking in the Spirit. You are stepping into a realm where miracles are the norm. I am your Father, and I love to partner with you in the redemption of the world. Don't settle for a form of godliness that has no power. Seek the fire. Seek the wind. Seek the deep waters of my presence. I am taking you from glory to glory. You are becoming more like me every single hour you spend in my company. Breathe in my spirit. Let it saturate every cell of your being. You are walking in my power now. I am speaking directly to the shadows that have been trying to creep into your mind, and I am telling you clearly, I have not given you a spirit of fear. Fear does not come from me. I am the Father of lights, the giver of peace, and the fortress of strength. Fear is a liar and a thief that tries to steal your future by making you afraid of today. It whispers what if until your heart is racing and your hands are shaking. But I am here to remind you that I have given you a spirit of power, of love, and of a sound, disciplined mind. At the mention of my holy name, Jesus, fear has no choice but to flee. It cannot stay in the presence of my perfect love, because my love casts out all fear. I want you to feel my love saturating your soul right now, filling every crack and crevice where anxiety has tried to take root. You are safe. You are held. You are protected. I am your shield, and I am standing between you and the arrows of terror that fly in the dark. Whether it is the fear of losing your job, the fear of a bad medical report, or the fear of being alone, I am the answer to that fear. When you pass through the deep waters, I promise you, I will be there beside you. The waves will not overwhelm you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. I am the fourth man in the fire with you. I am the one who shuts the mouths of lions. I am commanding your nervous system to come into alignment with my peace. I am silencing the emergency signals that your brain hath been sending out for far too long. You can breathe now. You can let your guard down. You are in the shadow of my wings, and there is no safer place in all the universe. I command the spirit of fear to break its hold over your life right this second. I am tearing down the strongholds of worst-case scenario thinking. I am replacing those dark images with the bright promises of my word. I want you to start speaking back to your fears. When fear says you won't make it, you say, my God shall supply all my needs. When fear says you are all alone, you say, he will never leave me nor forsake me. I am giving you a lion-hearted courage. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a victor through my love. I am your high tower. I am the rock that is higher than you. When you feel overwhelmed, run to me. I am always open. I am always ready. I am always enough. I invite you to trust me with your unknowns. Most of what you worry about never happens, and the things that do happen are never more than my grace can handle. I am the God of your tomorrows. I am already there, arranging things for your good. Stop trying to figure out the next 10 years and just focus on the next 10 minutes in my presence. I am the great I am, not the I was or the I will be. I am here, right now, in your struggle, providing everything you need. Feel the warmth of my love surrounding you. He is a shield of fire that the enemy cannot cross. You are my precious child, and I take personal responsibility for your safety. Fear has lost its power over you because you have found your home in me. Stand tall. Be bold. You are guarded by the Most High. I want you to settle this truth deep in your spirit once and for all. I will never, ever leave you. I will never forsake you, even to the very end of the age. There is nowhere you can go that my spirit is not already there. If you climb to the highest mountain of success, I am there. If you find yourself in the lowest valley of despair or even the shadow of death, I am right there holding your hand. My presence is the very atmosphere in which you live, move, and have your being. You are never alone, even when the world is quiet and you feel forgotten by everyone else. I am the friend who sticks closer than a brother or a sister. I am the one who knows your thoughts before you speak them, and your needs before you feel them. My spirit dwells within your very heart, making you a living temple of my glory. I want you to feel the warmth of my love surrounding you in this final hour of our conversation. This isn't just a feeling, it is a spiritual reality. My rod and my staff are here to comfort you, to guide you, and to protect you. I am the shepherd who goes after the one lost sheep, and I am the father who runs to meet the prodigal son. No matter how far you think you've wandered, you are only one breath away from my embrace. I am not a distant God sitting on a cold throne. I am a personal God who counts the hairs on your head and bottles your tears. I am involved in the small things of your life, the lost keys, the difficult conversation, the tired eyes, because nothing that concerns you is small to me. I am your constant companion, your silent partner, and your loudest cheerleader. I command the feeling of isolation to be broken off your life. You are part of my family, and my presence is your inheritance. I am giving you a sensible awareness of my spirit. You will start to notice me in the beauty of the sunset, in the kindness of a stranger, and in the quiet peace that settles over you in the middle of a storm. I am making your heart sensitive to my nudges. I am your internal compass. You don't have to wander through life wondering if you're doing it right. Just stay close to me, and I will keep you on the path. I am the light that never flickers, the fire that never goes out. When the night is at its darkest, my presence will be at its brightest in your life. I invite you to practice my presence throughout your day. Talk to me while you're washing the dishes. Ask my opinion while you're writing that email. Lean on me when you feel your energy fading. I am your ever-present help in times of trouble. I want our relationship to be a continuous conversation that never ends. You are my dwelling place. I have chosen you, and I have set my love upon you. You don't have to earn my presence. It is a gift I gave you when I called you by name. Rest in this assurance. Let it be the foundation of your confidence. You are never, ever alone. I am with you now. I will be with you in an hour. I will be with you forever. My child, we are at the edge of the finish line, and my spirit is stirred with a holy urgency for your life. Do not let this moment pass you by as if it were a fleeting thought, for it would break my heart to see you lose the momentum we have built in this secret place. Every second you have stayed with me has been a seed of power, and I am calling you to remain present until the final seal is placed upon this word. This is the hour where your yes meets my amen. Do not miss the climax of your own transformation. This word I have spoken to you today shall not return to me void. It is the seed of fire that I have planted in the soil of your heart, and it is destined to produce a harvest of glory. I want you to take these truths and seal them deep within your spirit. Do not let the birds of the air, the distractions, the doubts, and the busy work of the world steal what I have given you in this sacred hour. I have spoken to your identity, your finances, your health, and your future. These are not just motivational words. They are divine decrees that have already shifted things in the spiritual realm. As you move forward into the next hour, do so with a new weight of authority. You are not the same person who started this conversation. You have been visited by the divine, and you are carrying the fragrance of my presence into your world. I command you to step out in faith, knowing that I have already secured your victory. You don't have to wait until you see the miracle to believe it. Believe it now, and you will see it manifest. Go forth as a light in a dark world, carrying my message of hope and restoration to everyone you meet. This hour was not just an ending, it is a glorious beginning. It is the launch guide for a life-changing walk with me. I have equipped you with boldness, wisdom, peace, and power. You have the full armor of light on your back. You have the sword of the Spirit in your hand. The enemy is already defeated, and the path is already cleared. All you have to do is walk in the works I have prepared for you. I want you to realize that my work in you is a masterpiece that I am perfecting every day. I am the author and the finisher of your faith. If I started it, I will finish it, and what I finish is always good. I am sealing this conversation with my amen. It is finished. It is settled. It is glorious. You are my beloved child, in whom I am well pleased. I am proud of your heart. I am moved by your faith. I am excited for your future. Go now, and live the life I died to give you. Live it with joy. Live it with purpose. Live it with the absolute certainty that the King of Kings is walking right beside you, holding your hand, and leading you into your greatest hour. I invite you to remain in this state of active rest. Work hard, but rest in my grace. Plan ahead, but rest in my timing. Love others, but rest in my love for you. This conversation may be ending, but our communion never stops. I am as close as your next thought. I am as real as the ground beneath your feet. Move forward with your head held high. You are a victor. You are light. You are mine. Amen and amen. It is done. It is yours. And now, go and possess the land. The word is sealed. The victory is secured. And now I invite you to let your first act of faith be one of radical generosity. You are stepping into a life-changing walk with me, and I want you to experience the explosive power that comes from being a co-laborer in my divine work. By supporting this channel through super thanks or a gift via the description link, you are ensuring that the fire of this message never stops burning for the broken-hearted. You are the hands I use to feed the hungry spirit, and your obedience today will become the testimony of someone else's tomorrow. I declare that the measure you use will be measured back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over into your lap. I have blessed the works of your hands so that you can be a conduit of my grace to the ends of the earth. Do not let this moment of spiritual momentum pass without anchoring it in an act of sacrificial love. I command you to move forward in stewardship and sow your best seed right now into this harvest of souls. I have sealed my promise within your heart, but I am commanding you now to release it into the atmosphere with your own breath. Your words are the key that turns the lock of this divine hour, so I want you to boldly declare your expectation before a watching world. Do not walk away in silence. Instead, I invite you to leave a mark of your faith by commenting, "I claim my miracle in this hour." By doing this, you are telling the enemy that his time is up and my suddenness has arrived. As you type these words, feel the chains of delay shattering and the weight of my glory settling upon your home. Your transformation is not just a hope, it is a reality that begins the moment you align your voice with mine. Move now, for I am waiting to witness your boldness. Amen.